And we are live, fellas.
NBA Draft 2021, 2K21. This is the NBA Draft Show powered by Project Spurs, brought to you by DraftKings. It is the night that all Spurs fans and all NBA fans have been waiting for. Of course, it's the night that all these future stars, some of them potential superstars, know where they're going in the NBA and hope to make an impact, just like we hope that our future pick will make an impact for the Spurs, considering we stay there at 12, which we're hoping we are. Will it be Jalen Johnson? Will it be Kai Jones? Will it be Franz Wagner? Will it be Moses Moody? We won't know, but we will know here in about 12 picks or so, hopefully, if it doesn't get traded.
Yeah.
Rudy Campos Jr., joined by Josh Paredes. Ben Bornstein, the Boonstein, is here. Joe Garcia as well. We're coming to you live from Joe Garcia Studio, basically. Level Up Studios here. And guys, it's draft night. Are you guys ready? Because it's going to be like 3 or 4 hours of talk, and much coverage. Are we ready to go, guys?
We'll see. I'm ready now. We'll see in about 3 hours.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, so like we said, first pick at 12. We had a little preview show beforehand. It was we did a Spurs preview show. We basically kind of got some ideas of which prospects the Spurs might be taking. Also, some news that might be affecting the Spurs. We saw Kyle Kuzma being traded to the Washington Wizards. The Spurs were linked to Kuzma a lot, basically, when it came to the DeRozan deal. So that has kind of maybe fallen off the table. There's still potential that they could be a third team in that deal to maybe land somebody as far as trading DeRozan out. But, guys, we're going to be going over every pick here tonight. So real quick before we get in, Ben, is there one prospect out here? We know about the Cade Cunninghams. We know about the Mobleys. We know about Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, even the Scotty Barnes and the Kumingas. What is one prospect out here that has you giddy tonight? And I'm not talking Josh Giddy. I'm talking just Ben Bornstein giddy tonight, that you are excited to go to the next level.
Oh boy. I think a great home run swing for the Spurs. I know a lot of people want Kai Jones. I really think that Jalen Johnson, given a year to work with a professional basketball team, with his talents and what he does on the floor, I think could be really nice for this team, and he could be an exceptional pick. And he's probably going to be one of those guys where, if he didn't have kind of a spotty background, people would have said, he's definitely a top 10 pick. And I think the Spurs might get away with one tonight. They might pull one over on some people, and he might turn out to be a real nice pick at 12, a real steal, even that early in the draft.
Yeah, because he was kind of projected to go still, like 9 to 12 range. And then lately I've seen him dropping in a few actually mock drafts where he's going as far, maybe the next pick over 13 to I've seen as far as 2021. So, I mean, again, Jalen Johnson is one guy that I was really big on this year. He's a big man. He's versatile. It's the whole work ethic that you and I have talked about, Ben, a little bit. If he gets that right mindset, and we know the Spurs organization is a good organization and could really right the ship for a guy like Jalen Johnson, he could be a potential steal for the Spurs right at 12. Josh, getting into draft coverage here, you're going to kind of help us out with some news and notes and some rumors, any potential transactions that are going on. Right now, we did see, like we said, the Kuzma and Beal deal. We also saw, I believe, the Cavs traded for Ricky Rubio was another one. What other deals are coming across the table that might have some effect going into this draft right now?
So far, those are the two major ones. Rubio going to Cleveland. Tarian Prince involved in that also. The latest one I've seen is Mason Plumlee from Detroit going to Charlotte for the 37 pick. Oh, they're sending the 37 pick to Charlotte for the number 57. Not really affecting the Spurs there. I assume the news is going to be heating up a lot this hour, just in general around the draft and the NBA. So I'll just keep tabs on that, and I'll probably just interrupt you whenever I need to.
Yeah, if you got to, man, definitely interrupt myself or Ben, whoever, because we want to hear about these transactions going through, because we know they're going to affect the draft somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen some picks already affected. Earlier in the week, we saw a Memphis-New Orleans deal go through where we're seeing Steven Adams. He's going to play the pick-and-roll game with John Morant in Memphis. The Pelicans were getting Jonas Valanciunas on that deal as well. That's huge impact because those are two teams that the Spurs are going to mess with and rumble with this season coming up. So I really like that deal. That's another one that kind of affects a little bit in the draft here. But, we've got number 1 on the clock. And let's not be surprised here. For whatever reason, the Pistons said we were going to do our homework on 3 players. There's no way you're going to do your homework on 3 players. Cade Cunningham definitely is the guy that's going to go number 1. They actually made it official. Ben, give us a little bit of background on Cade Cunningham, because right now we're looking at a guy who's 6'8", 220 pounds out of Oklahoma State. You're talking about a guy who has a high basketball IQ, who can get buckets, who can score, from the perimeter. He's going to be really tough to defend. Are we seeing the next, I don't want to say GOAT, but the next big superstar coming into the league like in past years where we've had, LeBron James and those guys coming in?
Yeah, and he's been getting some very nice comparisons. One to Grant Hill, and this is, of course, when Grant Hill had knees and the Orlando Magic didn't misuse him. I'm not salty, but he's a guy who can go out, he can shoot, he can hit big shots for your team, he can go score almost at will. He's a solid defender. He can run the offense for you. I mean, you didn't always get to see it at Oklahoma State because his supporting cast was not always great. So when he gets to a real NBA team, and I still may be using the word real very loosely with the Pistons right now, but, he gets to the next level and he has NBA level talent surrounding him, I think it's going to look much different. I think he's going to possibly look even better. And I think you're not going to be able to key in on him every night like you did when he was at Oklahoma State. So I think, he's going to be real nice. He's definitely one of the top, who's going to be the top guys in this draft. He's going to end up being, one of those guys you look back at the draft and like, yes, that was the right choice as number 1. I think down the road, there's going to be cases to be made for Evan Mobley, for maybe Jalen Green, maybe even Scotty Barnes. But, those guys they can't be the number 1 pick right now. I think the way that Cade Cunningham plays translates very easily to this league, and it's a no-brainer.
And Cade Cunningham is obviously the number 1 clear-cut choice. But if you look up and down the draft, Ben, how many people do we see that we're talking potential major stars in this league? Because we're talking Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, Evan Mobley, the top 4. Is there anybody outside the top 4? Because we've seen Kuminga in there as well. Anybody outside of the top 4 that has that potential to be a next Giannis type player? I mean, someone that, is going to just take the league by storm. May take a little bit of time, but will take the league by storm. Took Dirk Nowitzki a little bit of time to take the league by storm. Do we have a player in this draft that's going to take a little bit of time, but will eventually be that superstar the league will shine its lights on?
I really think Scotty Barnes can be that guy. He really does have everything you want except for a jumper. And to me, that can easily be worked on with the right staff. So, him going 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it ends up being, I strongly believe the Magic are going to end up drafting him because he's absolutely their kind of player they love to draft. So I think he's going to go there. And Magic fans will probably initially be upset at, another long guy who can't shoot. How many of those guys do we have? But I think give him enough time and he's going to be really dang good in the league.
Yeah, when you say that, it reminded me, I believe someone at The Athletic compared him to an early Kawhi because he could do everything, but his jumper wasn't quite there. And then, what the Spurs did with Kawhi's jumper, obviously. So it just reminds me of that because I remember reading that and I was like, that's quite a compliment. But, I mean, maybe it'll be accurate. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like the Pistons pick is in, and we obviously know who it's going to be. So,
hallelujah.
The Detroit Pistons didn't take up the entire time, which was pretty reasonable here. So obviously,
very ecstatic about that. That actually might be the biggest upset you'll see tonight. The Pistons not taking all 10 minutes to make that pick.
No kidding, right? No kidding. Cade Cunningham is the number 1 pick for the Pistons, number 1 pick of the draft. Cade Cunningham, like I said, 6'8", 220 pounds from Oklahoma State. Pretty much a big playmaker. He can do it all on the offensive side. He's also a good defender. There's really not a whole lot. I mean, there's no real glaring, weakness in Cade's game. I mean, you've got a guy that has a wingspan of 7 feet. He's going to be tough for guards, especially, not bulky guards to defend. I mean, this kid is going to go to Detroit. He's going to make Motown happy again. Pistons basketball, bad boy basketball, probably going to be back at the 2021, not full title basketball, but definitely he's going to be making noise. Pair him up with a Killian Hayes, Ben, and we've got something pretty special in that backcourt up there in Detroit.
Yeah, they're gonna be nice. I mean, they're still gonna take a couple years to get where they need to be, but I mean, it's kind of nuts when you think about it. This is the first number 1 pick for Detroit since 1970 when they took Bob Lanier. I mean, it kind of speaks to their franchise and how good they've consistently been. I mean, they had those titles, the back-to-back titles in 80, 88 and 89.
Yeah.
And then again in 2004, they beat that amazing Lakers team, and they basically did it without any stars. And, if you're watching the broadcast, you saw that basically since 2008, they've struggled, but they still haven't struggled so much that they actually had a chance at the number 1 pick. So it's pretty impressive to me. I think it's funny. I'm watching it now, and they've got the reactions from the fans, and they're ecstatic, as they should be.
Yeah.
As we're hoping that Spurs fans will be ecstatic here at the 12th pick. Josh, how do you feel about Cade Cunningham being the newest Piston? Obviously, it's a great, great night to be a Detroit Piston fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's been just a foregone conclusion for a while now. It's finally official. I'm sure they're ecstatic, as we are seeing on TV. He's being interviewed right now. Is it enough to turn them around? We'll see. It's always gonna be a process, unless he's, a Tim Duncan type. They can just turn your whole season around by 40 games. But yeah, they should be excited. They have a reason.
Yeah, everybody's excited. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
For context with that, Josh, they were only able to turn around their season they only got the number 1 pick because David Robinson missed all year, and then he comes back, and you're able to plug and play, and you have the Twin Tower mojo going.
Right.
That's pretty easy to get your 40-win turnaround, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Everybody's happy.
I don't think Detroit is quite in the same position.
No. I mean, we're talking Robinson and Duncan, and we're talking Cunningham and Killian Hayes here. So,
by no means I'm making a 1-to-1 comparison.
Hey, guys, for joining us tonight on the Project Spurs NBA draft coverage, powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. We're giving giveaways tonight. What are we giving away? Well, I'm going to give you a heads up on it. We're giving away a Keldon Johnson custom USA shirt. Also, an exclusive NBA draft T-shirt of the newest Spurs. It's going to have the newest Spurs name on the back. Both of those designed and provided by Dakota Mitchell. Great, great work by Dakota there. Shout out to him. Also, we'll be giving away a Lids gift card for $20. Go get that NBA draft hat if you want to, of the Spurs or of the Pistons, who just drafted the newly acquired Cade Cunningham out of OSU. Last but not least, we've got 2 $15 Spurs fan shop cards. Giving away all this. We're going to give you a heads up when we're going to give those away, but all you got to really do is retweet, basically, and share it out on Facebook. Like it, everything. Do whatever. Just help us get the word out. Make this draft coverage a success tonight. That's it. Join us in our chat. You can join us via our chat on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter. Just find us, join us. Give your picks to us. We want to see what you feel is going to be done, maybe with the second pick. Do the Houston Rockets go with a Jalen Green? Do they go with a Jalen Suggs? I've been on the Jalen Suggs bandwagon more than the Jalen Green, but everything seems to be pointing to Jalen Green as the next Houston Rocket. We will see here in just a little bit. But, yes, those are the giveaways. And like I said, this draft coverage show is sponsored by DraftKings. Real quick, guys, for DraftKings, the games are underway, and DraftKings is bringing you to the podium. DraftKings free-to-play pools are available every day of the games in Tokyo and offering a free shot at up to $50,000 in total cash prizes. That's up to $50,000 for up for grabs, and the best part of it is it's free to play, guys. You want to go to DraftKings free-to-play pools. Go to DraftKings free-to-play pools are easy to enter. Just download the DraftKings app, go to pools, choose from a wide variety of free contests for an opportunity to win cash prizes. All you have to do is answer a handful of questions around what you think is going to happen during the day's events and track your results through the evening to see if you will achieve a victory. Questions will range from medal count to questions specific to the USA team. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. So if you make that deposit and you want to withdraw your money, it's at your earliest convenience. All you got to do is download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use the promo code TBPN. That's TBPN when you sign up to get your free shot at up to $50,000 in total cash prizes every day of the games in Tokyo. Head to DraftKings Pools page to get your shot at huge cash prizes and use that code TBPN for a limited time only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for full details. Again, DraftKings is a sponsor for tonight's show, the 2021 NBA draft coverage powered by Project Spurs. We are seeing here that the Houston Rockets pick is in right now.
Oh, got it. Yeah, so speaking of the giveaways, one of them at the last hour is going to be, we're going to actually pick from the people that are interacting with us for the NBA, the newly drafted Spur shirt. So you guys get your comments in. I believe our producer here, Joe, had some that he was pulling up. But, yeah, if you want to interact with us all night, at the end of the night, we'll kind of choose one that has been interacting with us to get that shirt. That's how you're going to win that shirt. And also one of the $15 Spurs fan shop gift cards will be selected by us toward the end of the draft as well.
There you go. That's the ways to get your prizes here for the Project Spurs NBA draft. Houston Rockets are in. They made the pick, and that is actually Jalen Green. So Jalen Green it was Team Ignite, right? I'm basically going to say he's out of USA, but played for Team Ignite, 6'6", 186 pounds. Shooting guard. This guy can get you buckets. He's going to Houston. Ben, what's the takes that we have on Jalen Green here?
So comparison I've seen for him is Zach LaVine, which is pretty great if you ask me. He's definitely a shooter. He can get you buckets, by the handful. That won't be an issue there. His defense is all right. He'll probably have to work on that a little bit as well. With him, man, I just don't know what Houston's. I mean, it's the right pick for Houston's for sure, but Houston is going to have to. They're going to have to figure out how to surround him with good players too, because I mean that Rockets roster is devastated. It is not ideal. So I mean, he might be a guy who is in the Rookie of the Year running purely because he's putting up crazy numbers.
Yeah, and we still got Christian Wood is still there. You've got Porter Jr. that was starting to emerge last year. So it's not really a really bad situation for Jalen Green to go into, considering the fact that I think Houston still has 2 more picks in the first round towards the end of the first round. So Houston actually could do a little bit of damage in this draft. No complaints at all with Jalen Green. I mean, you got to get that scorer in there. You did lose, obviously, James Harden to the Nets this past year. So getting a guy like Green who can go and get you buckets, I mean, it's a really good thing. But I kind of see what Ben's saying. You're probably not going to see the wheels, turn very, very fast.
They lost everyone.
They did.
They lost the coach. They lost Harden. They lost Westbrook. They lost what's his name? Daryl Morey, who's coming up with all these crazy scenarios to try to unload some Ben Simmons. So they just got completely destroyed over the offseason. So this will be a big step. Also, I'm a big fan of Christian Wood. I think he should have been actually on Team USA. I'm not sure what went wrong there that he wasn't able to join, because I'm sure he would have wanted to. But they have some nice pieces there. It's just going to take some time.
I think because Christian Wood made too much sense for Team USA.
Maybe so.
That's why.
Got to get McGee in there.
Yeah, again, that came out of nowhere, but I can understand that. But this is not Team USA night, so we can't talk about Team USA.
Yeah.
We're actually talking about NBA draft. Again, welcome everybody joining us for the draft tonight here. 2021 NBA draft coverage powered by Project Spurs, brought to you by DraftKings. In case you missed it, Josh gave a little bit of background. I'm going to kind of quick hit on this again. We are giving away some prizes tonight. Dakota Mitchell did design 2 giveaways for us. Keldon Johnson custom USA shirt, also an exclusive NBA draft T-shirt that will have the name of the player that the Spurs draft on the back. Those 2 will be given away tonight, as well as a $20 Lids gift card and 2 $15 Spurs fan shop gift cards. I'll get with Josh here in a minute to give you more of the details. Again, just interact with us. Leave some comments, retweet the stream, share the stream out, leave comments, like whatever you got to do. Just make sure that you're doing all of that to enter yourself into these prize giveaways that we've got here. Josh, we've seen Cade Cunningham go. We've seen Jalen Green go. So now we're sitting on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They ended up trading for Ricky Rubio earlier today. And you've also got a Colin Sexton. You've got a Darius Garland right now. Makes me wonder if one of those guys is going to be on the move
Maybe so.
pretty soon here. But is everything pointing to one Evan Mobley right here? Because you don't know the situation with Jared Allen. That's another guy that's kind of restricted free agent. Kevin Love is really not wanting to be there after the way he was acting last year. Everything's kind of got to point towards Mobley in this case.
I mean, yeah, I would assume so. I think the top three have been pretty set in stone. It would be a surprise. Obviously, Suggs maybe has a case, but in Cleveland, I'm not sure how that would work. Yeah, you got to go with Mobley at this point. I would have had him at second. I think anyone but the Rockets probably would have had him at second, but they do have Christian Wood, so it's like, it's understandable.
It would have been a nice twin tower. And for those of you that are watching the draft show, we do go by ESPN's draft. So when the pick is made with ESPN, we'll announce that pick as well, because I know some people are like, oh, this guy's being drafted in the comments. Like, we understand that you're going to know ahead of time, but we're going off the ESPN feed here. So the pick is in for the Cleveland Cavaliers. No surprise there at all. They did go with Evan Mobley out of USC. Again, it's not really a surprise. You've got Jared Allen, who is probably not going to be there in Cleveland this year, especially now that you've got an Evan Mobley. You can kind of pair him up with the Kevin Love as well, but I don't even know if we're going to see Kevin Love remain in Cleveland as well. Ben, a Mobley pick here, does this make the Cavs not necessarily playoff contenders, but does it tighten up the belt a notch a little bit more for them, because they've got a good thing with Garland and Sexton. Give them a kid like Mobley. This is a very young team that's going to be very good really soon.
Yeah, I think with the way their roster is constructed, it's a little odd. And yes, they no longer have Taurean Prince, who's a forward, so that leaves more minutes for Mobley. They have two guards that they like. Isaac Okoro started. He played really well last year for a rookie, so I think him just getting better is going to be great. Mobley's going to have the opportunity to learn from Larry Nance Jr., who is a good pro. It's funny. Cleveland ended up playing like 25 guys last season on their roster at some point. So there's a lot to wade through, but even if they lose Jarrett Allen, then obviously Mobley becomes your guy. If you're Cleveland and you retain Jarrett Allen, maybe you play both those guys together, because Evan Mobley is a good defensive player. Jarrett Allen can be more of your offensive guy right now. Not Mobley isn't offensive at all, but you can let Jarrett Allen still kind of have the ball through him on your offense, and Evan Mobley kind of gets scraps here and there and does a little bit of shot creation on his own. But they're going to turn out to be a nice little team, and I think with the Ricky Rubio situation, they may end up just buying him out and letting him go play for a contender somewhere, and he'll get paid a little less by them, but he's already got his Cleveland money, so it's all good. Also of note, the Laker and Wizards trade has been completed, from what I understand.
Hey, I'm the Woj here. I was about to say that.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. I was going to leave it to Josh to flesh it out for us.
Don't be stealing his thunder.
This is my one chance to be Woj.
OKC steal the thunder.
So with Ben,
well played.
With Ben breaking that about the Lakers and Wizards completed draft pre-draft trade here, let's go to our Woj over here. Josh Paredes to get more information on that. What do you got on that trade right now, Josh?
Like you said, they have agreed on the trade for Russell Westbrook. So I guess it's just about finalizing the details. That's going to go through. Westbrook is going to go back to L.A. So it should be. And there's also one more. Indiana acquired the 31st pick from Milwaukee, according to Woj. So not very major, but
no. And then, you know what? That's the second round. So thank God we don't have to cover that that pick right there. No,
this guy gets it.
No. So I mean, like I said, we're going to have Josh giving us all the transactions, all the trades being made. With Russell Westbrook going to the Lakers now, it's got to shut the door on anything that DeMar DeRozan for the Lakers. Pretty much, they're locking the door, putting the chains on as well. So I'm pretty sure that this kind of points to maybe not. I don't even know if it's going to be a Washington type deal right now, because they've already made that trade. I don't think they're going to send a Bradley Beal to San Antonio for DeRozan. Kind of opens up the door a little bit here. Let's go to some of the comments up here. We've got, I'm trying to read here. Looks like Jonah's in here. Kuminga or Barnes that's going at 5. I think we're kind of on the sense of Scotty Barnes going to the Magic right here. Or I'm sorry, to the Magic at 5. Yes, at 5. Not at 4.
I think the pick was
guys are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I think Ben already saw. I believe Barnes is being selected.
Sorry, couldn't contain it.
It's okay. We can have, you can be the spoiler very occasionally.
You can definitely drop it again for those of y'all that are in the comments watching us. Let me get to a couple more comments here. The big boss man is in here. Michael DeLeon, respect Josh's algorithm.
There we go.
Autorita. Yeah, I can't pronounce that obviously. I only went to Central Catholic. They didn't teach me that many big words there. So
Cartman.
We've definitely got Suggs will be next. Nope, actually we're gonna get the pick right now. Ben kind of let the cat out of the bag. We are going by ESPN in real time for our pick. But Scotty Barnes definitely goes number 4. This probably was the whole what when you get in the draft here, because everybody had Suggs going 4.
And Paul just tweeted, Paul Garcia from Project Spurs, he said almost every mock had Suggs at 4.
Exactly. Everybody had
upset. Yeah.
But clearly, Ben, you made a point at the beginning of our draft coverage that Scotty Barnes is going to be that guy for you that is potential superstar. He's just going to need to develop a jumper, and once he develops that jumper, we're talking about one of the best players in the league. Am I coming correct on you with that?
That is absolutely what I thought. He is, I think, when he adds a jumper to his game, he's going to be unstoppable. I mean, he's that good. He can switch basically 1 through 5 defensively. He can run your offense for you. I mean, they're showing highlights right now, and I'm sure they're going to show some just ridiculous passes that he makes, and his wingspan, as you can see, is insane. I mean, kid's just got it, and he is a winner as they've got on his graphic, but he is absolutely a winner, and he wants to win at all costs, and I love that about him.
I'm just going to throw this at Josh here because now my mind's got me wondering. We saw Barnes go at 4. Is there a potential trade that reason being you take Scotty Barnes as high? I know Barnes is the real deal. Barnes is the real deal. I know that.
Yeah.
But to pass on a player like Suggs, who at Gonzaga, I mean, Suggs was a dominant collegiate and was everything you wanted to start a franchise with, because you don't have obviously DeRozan for a while, but you lose Lowry. So with Suggs being passed, do you think there's a possibility we may see a trade, Barnes going somewhere else?
So are you saying they selected for someone on their behalf? I mean, sure.
Interesting.
That is interesting because it's so against the script that we all were expecting. You want to go some comments here?
Yeah, actually, I'm trying. One guy made a good comment here, and I can read it out. It's John Hernandez. Says DeRozan is said to be traded to the Raptors for Pascal. Now, okay, I did see something about a little bit like that earlier, where that, they were talking about all these crazy things with Pascal coming to San Antonio. I mean, the reason why I bring that up is because of the pick of Scotty Barnes. I mean, he kind of plays that Anobi Pascal type game. So why are you adding a third type of player like that to a team if one of those guys isn't on the move possibly, or a Scotty Barnes is on the move? I mean, that is something that I definitely am considering now. And I like to dive into the rabbit hole. We're going to Will on here. Will says, we love this show. Thumbs up. Awesome, Will. We thank you for joining us. Definitely everybody comment in here. We're going to get to as many comments as we can. We are giving away some prizes as well. Give you the details here in just a second. Coming up with that Scotty Barnes thing, Ben, I asked Josh about the potential trade. Real quick, is that something that could be in the works in your opinion? Because, again, you've got Anobi and you've got Pascal Siakam. I mean, it's kind of like the same player.
It's similar. I think Scotty Barnes can be a better playmaker than both of those guys, a playmaker for other teammates anyway. But yes, I would absolutely not rule out one of those guys getting sent. And my gut would tell me Siakam, just because of his contract, and his contract would probably match up better with other people who are trying to trade for that kind of caliber of player. So that would be that's what my gut says. And now the Magic can make things really crazy here with the 5th pick, because everybody assumed they were getting Barnes, and now they can say, you know what, we'll just take Suggs, or maybe they'll say, you know what, let's get weird. Let's you know what, the Toronto took our guy. Let's see if we can screw up this draft for someone else. And granted, they still have that opportunity as well.
Hey, we got somebody here watching us from Periscope. Thank you for watching us on Twitter. It said, "Think no walls, look hippie life" is who's watching us, and he's saying, "Bro, I like watching ESPN, but I'm listening to your broadcast and not hearing Perkins." Oh God, Malarkey is gold. Malarkey.
And that's the reason why we give you a live draft coverage, because I've said it before. I do a live NFL coverage, draft coverage every single year. It's the same thing. We love watching it on TV, but we cannot stand the people on TV. That's why we're bringing this to you guys here from Project Spurs. We want to give you the absolute best coverage, absolute best coverage that we can, pick by pick. You're hearing the greatness that is Ben Bornstein. God, I'm gonna screw that up at least twice tonight, Ben. I need you to just
the first
hyphenate
hour.
it. BB, we're calling you BB. And
There
of
you
course,
go.
Josh Paredes, who's a writer for Project Spurs and Air Alamo. Joe Garcia is the man behind the glass here. Joe's going to give us some comments from time to time. We want y'all to participate. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I am Rudy Campos Jr. I am the annoying voice that you're going to be hearing the entire night. But we did get into the whole possibilities.
Don't let that fool you. Rudy has a face made for radio.
I do have a face made for radio. I have
Man,
100.
first burn of the night.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of burns coming up here on the Project Spurs coverage. It's powered by Project Spurs of the NBA draft coverage of 2021, sponsored by DraftKings. Scotty Barnes did go 4, the surprise of the draft. Everybody had Suggs going 4. I brought up the question, does this mean Barnes gets traded? Possibly, maybe not. Ben and Josh kind of made the same assumption here that if anyone gets traded, it might be an Anunoby, it might be a Siakam, especially with Siakam in the contract. I don't want to point fingers at San Antonio. I don't think he's coming to San Antonio at all. But, again, it's potentially you might see a trade towards the end of the night for one of these guys. With the number 5 pick coming up here, you've got the Orlando Magic.
Oh, boy.
Everybody wanted Scotty Barnes. We're going to get the pick right now as Adam Silver is coming up onto the podium. Is it Jalen Suggs? Can you pass on a Jalen Suggs here?
No, at this point.
It would appear they cannot.
Yeah, I mean, you really cannot, I don't think. And there it is.
There it is.
Okay, so you get Jalen Suggs at 5. I can't say that's a shocker. I mean, to me, it's shocking because he should have been top 4. But
Agreed.
you're getting a franchise. And let me do this in quotes and bold letters, major letters. You're getting a franchise-ready, changing point guard. One of the most key positions on the court, point guard. He runs the team. He makes the flow go. You're getting a franchise point guard right here. He goes at 5. This is definitely a steal for the Magic. I'm thinking this is perfect for the Magic, knowing that they even have the number 8 pick coming up as well. So to pair somebody with Suggs, Magic franchise, all you fans, love it. Ben, Suggs, what do you got, brother?
Very excited for the Magic. They picked the top 4 player at number 5. Magic fans should be ecstatic. I mean, there is no other description for that. They should be absolutely ecstatic. And yes, they probably have a lot of guards on their roster. This team played 28 people on their roster this season.
God.
That's how nuts this season was. All right.
Yeah.
They already have Cole Anthony. Sure. They already have Dwayne. Okay. Get it. They have R.J. Hampton, who they acquired from Denver Nuggets in the Aaron Gordon. Okay, I get it. Like him, sure. You no longer have Evan Fournier, but you have and you have Markelle Fultz, who you're hoping returns healthy. So, if you're the Magic, you have a lot of really nice pieces here. You need guys to stay healthy, and you could legitimately be a good team. They have like I said, Cole Anthony. They have Terrence Ross, who loves it in Orlando, by the way. They have Mo Bamba. He has to stay healthy. Chuma Okeke didn't play last season. Or no, I'm sorry. He did play last season. He came on late. He played 45 games, and he started to look pretty good in what was essentially his rookie year. He missed that first season. He went in the top 20 despite a torn ACL out of Auburn, by the way. So they really like him. He comes back and he starts playing the way he has been. He'll be all right. RJ Hampton, Wendell Carter Jr. they acquired in the Bulls trade for Vucevic. They've got good in here, and of course Raquel Fulton again. I mean, they have pieces to be on their way to making playoffs consistently. Again, it's going to come down to these dudes being healthy and not missing tons of games during the season because of injuries.
Yeah, it is. And I like what the Magic are doing. This is one of the teams outside of OKC that I felt was going to hold the keys to the draft. I mean, you're talking a roster of, like you said, a Cole Anthony. You've even got a big man there. I mean, you're talking Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba still there. And
exactly. And you have Jonathan Isaac
as well, another guy that we're forgetting here. I see Jalen Suggs being that leader that this team needs, the really big time leader, the franchise changer. Let's put it this way: could we easily say that this is the first franchise player they've had? Now, I don't even want to consider Dwight Howard as a franchise player.
I mean,
but let's go back to Penny Hardaway.
He was a number one pick, and he carried them to a finals. I would consider that a franchise player.
Okay, I can see that too. But I'm talking, so at the point guard position, the likes of Penny Hardaway, where he can come in and just make the Magic that much better. Yes, he had Shaq, but Penny just made that whole team that much better. And that's something that Suggs is going to bring. The leadership quality that Suggs brings is going to be tremendous for this young team right here. Tremendous. You might see better years out of Bamba. You might see a better year out of Carter. I think Cole Anthony is going to actually put up better numbers right next to Suggs. It's going to be an exciting time in the Magic Kingdom. Not only does Disney own Marvel, which is exciting for everybody else except to Scarlett Johansson, but the Magic fans are definitely excited. No, it's not too soon. It's perfect for that. I give you 50 million reasons why it's not too early for that.
Fair.
Josh, give me a little insight here on the Magic here with Jalen Suggs. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like you guys covered it. They definitely need this help on both ends. They're going to have, I think you said 7th or 8th pick also.
Yeah, they got the 8th pick coming up.
They've kind of been in the dumps for a while now, so that's really going to help turn things around.
Yeah, the chat's blowing up. I've got a request from one Chris Galler. He's hashtagging, we want second round coverage. I can only go one round. I know I've lost a lot of weight and I have a little more energy, but my voice is only good for one round. You got to tag me out for the second round. Kuminga to Spurs is just a feeling I have.
Oh, man, if he drops that far, forget it.
I'm going to go to Ben on that because I want to ask him on that.
I was going to say Jalen Johnson, so I got my eye on. If you have Jalen Johnson and Kai Jones, that's a tough decision, dude.
But where? Yeah. Okay, so thinking about it, Ben, Kuminga, Josh and I are looking at Kuminga. Outside of, I can see OKC taking him there because obviously they need a big man. But if OKC passes, I don't see Golden State taking him. I don't see the Magic taking him. Sacramento, no. Memphis, no. Obviously, Portland's no. I mean, you have Valanciunas. If Kuminga doesn't go here, do we see the Kuminga fall to 12?
If that happens, I might lose it on this podcast.
As long as you keep your clothes on, Ben, we're good.
You don't have to worry about that.
No, I mean, you're talking the Kuminga thing. This is where if Jonathan Kuminga is going to be selected, I think he goes right here to 6. If not, then it's a good possibility because, they got the Warriors. The Warriors have Wiseman. I don't know if they can move Wiseman. Could you pass up on Kuminga? You can afford to if you're the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. And again, you go to the Magic. You have Bamba. You have Wendell Carter. Kuminga would fit nicely there. But again,
he would.
You could definitely go with another prospect, another guard even, or a small forward when it comes to there is a Franz Wagner potential in Orlando at the 8th pick right there. Then you're going at
oh wow.
You're going so we've got the selection coming in. Adam Silver is on the podium. For those of y'all that are watching,
Be prepared, folks. Hold on to your butts.
And a major surprise has happened as Josh Giddey is going to the OKC Thunder. I'm really pausing on this because Josh Giddey is a playmaker for sure. He's definitely not a shooter. I'm giving you the background on that.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. He's definitely point. He's a really good point guard. 6'8", about 6'8", 6'9", 185 pounds from Australia. We know of another Australian point guard, one Patty Mills, who scratch our heads. He only seems to play Patty ball in the Olympics. But no, we'll get back into that a whole nother time.
Good on you, mate.
Good on you, mate. Exactly. Josh Giddey definitely is a playmaker. He can definitely make plays happen. He needs to work on his shooting. Ben, for Josh Giddey going to OKC, you've got Kemba Walker there as well. Is that a backcourt that can actually work? Because Kemba can just play off the ball now.
Yeah, but I also, from what I've seen, I believe they're also trying to move Kemba Walker, mostly because they don't want that insane contract on their books. I think it's 73 over the next 2 million, or sorry, 73 million over the next 2 years. So that is, I mean, that is a lot of money for a team that is in a rebuild, has all of these assets, and is looking to just continue to get younger. So I have a feeling Kemba Walker will be on the move anyway. So I don't know if they'll actually ever play together.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. I mean, if we're talking about Kemba Walker, Josh, off the top of your head, one team that you might think he might go to, because, I mean, he has that insane contract. And you're not going to trade, like you said, it's almost like the DeRozan factor. He's not going to get traded to a contender because you can't pick up that contract without giving up one of your big guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many that could take that on at this point. There's Spurs, Knicks. There's just the ones that have cap space.
So, and you know, I kind of gave this to you, and it's kind of like a head scratcher for you because you're kind of like, well, I don't know where to go.
Who knows?
The reason why I asked you is because let's rewind to pick 4. That's Scotty Barnes. They can potentially take on maybe a Kemba Walker contract, because if I can get the numbers somewhere here in a little bit, Siakam's contract. You can give up a little bit from Toronto, knowing you've got Scotty Barnes. Send a Kemba Walker to Toronto. You're going to get maybe a Siakam in return and something else. The numbers could work there. So, again, that might be the reason why we can take a Barnes, get rid of this guy, get us a Kemba Walker. You've got your nice little Walker pair right there with Scotty Barnes. So there's stuff out there, but taking Josh Giddey this early, I mean, I thought I knew everything about the mock drafts and everything. Clearly, my mock drafts are about as dumpster fire as some DC movies that came out recently.
I saw.
Okay,
Shams.
so we're just going to use this to take shots now. We're just using the live show to take shots at.
If you've
films,
seen my podcast and shows, you know it's a whole shot taking.
So it looks like OKC traveled last weekend to California to have a private meeting with Giddey. So that's what Shams just tweeted recently. So I guess they just kind of had their eye on him, and they went ahead, pulled the trigger. It seems early.
It seems really,
unless they have other things in the woodworks, but I guess we'll see. I was gonna say we should do our first giveaway since we're at 7:44 now.
7:44. Okay, we'll get ready for our first giveaway here.
Should
Josh,
I do the drum roll?
Hey, if you want to do, we can do the drum roll here.
This is gonna be for the. Let me pull it up here. It's gonna be for the $20 gift card to Lids. That Rudy was able to secure. This is going to be from the pool of people that retweeted our original stream back about a week ago.
Okay.
So I have them all here, all the names, and I'm just going to use a random generator, and we'll probably just end up reaching out in a DM.
Sure.
And the winner of that gift card is Yatuli, YAHTULLY. That's somebody that retweeted. So thank you for supporting and retweeting. And I'll reach out in a DM soon, and we're going to do another giveaway in a few minutes before 8 o'clock. So.
See, guys, I told you we're giving away everything and the farm here. We got our first winner, $20 gift card to Lids. We'll be reaching out to you. Josh will be reaching out to you for the $20 Lids gift card. It's going to be pretty simple. Just give us your email on the DM from Josh, and we'll get that over to you. It's all done on
congratulations to our first winner of the live NBA draft coverage. Almost said NFL. NBA draft coverage. We will have some more. We'll have some more giveaways coming up here shortly. So make sure you keep on liking, the NBA live draft coverage. that we're bringing you. And also make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure you go and RT the live feed if you're enjoying this. That way others can come in and enjoy and be entertained by our cast of NBA analysts here with Josh Paredes, your host here, Rudy Campos Jr., who's doing a lovely job, I might say right now. So I'm going to give him a little golf clap.
Thank you.
And also our guru here, the one and only Benjamin Bornstein.
Wow, a very respectful golf clap. I like that. Two fingers.
It was like the old, I don't know, I mean, I'm an old man, so the Men at Work movie with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez when they give the golf clap, that's what it felt like right there. Again, guys, comment in the on the YouTube stream, the Facebook stream, the Twitter stream. Just comment. Join us. We're giving you the absolute best coverage tonight on the 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on DraftKings here in a little while because they've got some free games going, and you can win up to $50,000 in cash prizes. I think I'm going to go do the Olympic part of the DraftKings that they've got because I don't know about anybody else, but I could use $50,000. So hopefully I get a piece of that pie for sure. We'll give you more details as time goes by here. And we did have our first winner of the Lids $20 gift card. Still got plenty more gift cards to give away. Sitting at the number 7 pick, we have the Golden State Warriors. Again, made the comment, Jonathan Kuminga, still on the board. Does he go here? We've got Adam Silver on the podium. The pick is in, and we are going to see exactly who is going right now. And it is actually one, Jonathan Kuminga from the NBA G League Ignite. Kuminga does go to the Golden State Warriors here. Kind of surprising. This was a kid that potentially in any other draft, Ben, is a number 1 pick. I mean, almost any other year, he could be a number 1 pick. Two-way forward, plays both great defense and has an offensive skill set to go with it. I mean, you're talking a guy who's 6'8", 220 pounds, a 7-foot wingspan. Again, this kid could have probably gone number 1 in other years. Golden State is definitely getting a nice one to pair with a James Wiseman if he is staying there, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even think he really got the opportunity to show everything he can do playing in the G League. He only played, I think they only played 13 games.
Yes.
And, he still put up pretty solid numbers, but like it said, like you can see on the graphic, he is an elite athlete. He can defend multiple positions. He's super bouncy. He's going to have to work on his shooting a little bit, but I mean, he's a guy I think is a bit of a steal at 7 because frankly, I thought, well, he did fall into this range on a lot of mock drafts, but he probably could have been a top 5 guy. And now they're comparing him to Jaylen Brown, which I'm not totally sure is fair, but Jaylen Brown also struggled to shoot early in his career. So I think, I guess that part of it makes sense. And he let his defense get him first, get him to the playing time, and worked on his offensive game in between seasons and has really become a nice second piece to Jason Tatum in Boston. So if Kuminga can become a consistent shooter over time, or even just a guy to spell Klay Thompson and help him defensively, I mean, that's huge for Golden State. If you can play Klay and Kuminga at the same time and you don't have to put Klay Thompson on their best wing player, that's a win for you if you're Golden State. So I think they made a great pick here.
Yeah, Golden State's looking, I mean, we already know the kind of team they have with a Curry, Thompson, and a Green. And, Wiggins is actually a decent player for Golden State. I mean, he makes sense for them there. To grab a Kuminga, this team just keeps getting stronger and better. When you get all these guys back at full strength, good God. I mean, not only do you have youth, but you've got obviously 2 of the lethal shooters in the NBA. So Golden State is definitely a team definitely to watch right now. Seeing Kuminga go to Golden State, Josh, how are you feeling about that? Because like we said, you still got a Wiseman. I mean, I like to jump in the rabbit hole a ton of times here, but if you're able to move on from a player in a contract like Draymond Green, I mean, Kuminga can fit right in right there. I mean, he's the defender. He's a really good defender. So could the potential be there, or we may see a move there? Who knows? But what do you feel about the Kuminga pick for the Warriors?
Yeah, great pick. I mean, they already have the tools there. It's really going to be about Klay Thompson if he's finally able to, return. And, they have the coaching staff. They have the experience, championship experience on there. Kuminga's going to be a great fit there. I think that was a great pick. And they're going to have 7 too, I believe, right?
They've got another pick coming up here. Let me see which one
14.
it is. 14?
14,
yeah. 14. So they've got, they're picking 7 picks later. Yeah. So, again, you can get another
guy, yeah.
Another massive guy. And it's kind of cool, too, because some of these guys going where they're going opens up that potential of will we see a trade?
Yeah.
You're the Warriors, you have Kuminga and you have Wiseman. You can potentially move on from one of those guys and get a nice return for one of them, knowing you still have the 14th pick coming up 7 picks from now. So everything's going good in Golden State. I like what they're doing. It's definitely promising in Golden State. Great pick by the Golden State Warriors there. Our buddies, the Orlando Magic, who took Jalen Suggs back at number 5, they are up next. Where would we see them going here? I'm going to really upset Ben here and say I think this is going to be Franz Wagner, but Adam Silver is
you'd
on.
Be upsetting me for sure.
I know. I'm sorry, Ben. Don't send me 12 black roses because I'm not going to give you my. Send them to Joe. I'll have Joe throw them away. Adam Silver.
Make sure they get to him.
Adam Silver is on there, and I think I just upset Ben for the night.
It.
I really hope Ben doesn't leave us on the stream because we need the guru. But yes, the Orlando
I'm going
Magic.
to 12 and I'm
out. The Orlando Magic did take Franz Wagner, small forward out of Michigan. To me, it just makes a lot of sense for them. You went and got a Suggs. You got your floor general. You got your leader. You needed that small forward position filled. No better player to get than a Franz Wagner. He's a two-way player, Ben. The kid can do it all. I've kind of said I don't like his speed. He kind of plays slow, but I think if you look at it, it's not a bad thing he plays slow because he plays smart.
Yes, absolutely. Smart defender, great team defender, individual defender. I think he's taller than people realize. He recently said that he was listed at 6'10". He got checked in after the combine, and he was closer to 6'10", which would make him, that extra inch always means a lot to people. So and he's a good shooter. You don't need him to take volume shots. He's a great 3-and-D guy for them. He's a forward who's fairly low usage. So I like it. I think it's a great pick for them. I'm a little mad that he didn't last to 12, but I think it's a good pick for the Magic.
Why are you mad? Because that just leaves potential for fan favorites Kai Jones and Jalen Johnson to be taken by the San Antonio Spurs.
You're not wrong.
There's still good options out there.
Wagner was my guy.
Yeah, we just got the Sacramento Kings on the clock right now, so they're up next.
Oh, great. Can't wait to see how they screw this one up.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Very excited.
Longest active playoff drought, 15 years is what's on the screen right now.
We suck again. That's what they say.
Oh, no, we suck again.
So Wagner going at number 8, Josh, pairing him up with Jalen Suggs. Orlando, and let's be honest, we've got, 3 or 4 teams in the East that are really, truly contenders. Orlando could be building something very special there, and it could be a lot sooner that they actually are a playoff team rather than later.
Yeah, it when you're in the East, it doesn't take a whole lot, let's be honest, and it's been like that for a while. So it's definitely a step in the right direction for them.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Okay, so let's get to some comments here. I'm sorry, guys. We got Will in here. He loves lids. Yeah, I love lids. I wear caps almost every weekend for sure. I got a bald head, so... let's see. Chase Reynolds in here says, didn't realize Mo was also in Orlando. Yeah, Mo Bamba is still there. That's what I'm saying. You've got an Orlando Magic team that is putting a very, very nice team together. Don't forget, Cole Anthony's there as well. This team's going to be good. Kings are going to draft Luka Garza. That was our big boss man, Michael DeLeon in here. I don't know if Michael is being serious. I hope
he's
not.
joking.
He's being serious. We love you, Michael. Hope not. Mo, it's Mo Wagner, not Mo Bamba. I need to figure that out.
Mo. They have both Mo's.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
They have Mo Wagner and Mo Bamba.
I'm sorry.
And
That
Mo
is
money and
that
Mo
is
problems.
right. Exactly.
They have any less of anything.
So is it
It's
like
all
the
Mo?
the Mo's you have, the Mo problems you have. Is that what it is? You got
That's
Mo
it.
and Mo.
Mo's Mo problems.
We've also got Will in here. Absolutely the best NBA coverage right here. Thank you for that, Will. We surely appreciate that. We are definitely trying. We wish we could get paid like the 4-letter network does, because that would make the job a whole lot better. But we did get paid in pizza and wings, so that's a
Yes,
bonus
true.
right there.
I've been snacking on mine whenever he puts
Exactly.
the graphic
Shout
up.
out to you, Michael De Leon. Thanks for the Marcos Pizza. We're indulging.
For sure, for sure.
I
Thank
see him
you,
put the
Michael
graphic
Deleon.
on, and I'm like, oh, now time to take a bite.
We've got, let's see, John Hernandez. The Kings will take Jalen Johnson. I think the Kings are actually going to go James Bouknight here. I like the idea of putting him right there with De'Aaron Fox. Ben, is there any potential that they may even go with the Keon Johnson at this point?
I feel like that's too early for Keon Johnson, but I also feel like getting a James Bouknight, that's just too many guys who need to have the ball in their hands now. You have Buddy Hield, you have De'Aaron Fox. You know that the ball can only touch so many hands before it gets shot and before people get upset. So I don't Bouknight would be a great pick, but I do believe the pick is in, and we're about to see if that's an accurate assessment or not.
Yeah, we definitely going to have, I think the pick's going to be in here in just a minute. We had a comment that I'm going to get to here as soon as we get the pick. Well, I'll actually read the comment here, and then we'll get into it here as soon as the pick is made. It's from, is it McKay?
McKay Lyman. He says,
Lyman.
Yeah.
It says, of the current young players, which one do you think can make the jump to being a to being a 20-point player? So I'm going to leave that for Ben here. Of the top players, which one do you think could be
Wait,
a
are
20-point
they asking
player?
the current Spurs or the current draft of?
Okay, yeah,
the
McKay, give us a
class?
little bit of insight on
It
that.
says of the current.
He
young
says of the current
players.
young players.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming of the Spurs.
it could be.
It
either
could
one,
be that,
really.
or
I mean, if
it's
it's
kind of vague. Yeah.
if it's the Spurs,
Oh boy. Well,
Let's
Derek
do-
White,
you already
obviously.
know I'm high on Keldon Johnson.
Yeah,
That's my dude.
Keldon, Derek, DeJounte
Yeah.
could get there if he.
I don't think DeJounte and Derek are 20-point guys.
No,
I don't
You're
feel
not
it.
gonna
Derek.
give no love to.
I think Derek could be if he ever stayed healthy, but he has so many feet issues.
Oh,
is
Spurs
the
players,
problem.
they're
Okay, so
saying-
he said
No love
Spurs
to Lonnie
players.
Walker.
I mean, not for 20.
He's got to get out of Pop's doghouse first.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
I don't know what
I
he's
think,
done, but he
I
is
think
absolutely
Keldon.
in Pop's doghouse. I mean, I feel like he goes out there and he plays hard every time he plays, and he
Yeah.
for the most part he makes good decisions. But for whatever reason, he can't get consistent minutes, and it scares me sometimes.
Yeah, I think we've got the pick
pick
in
is
from
in.
Sacramento, and it's actually a brilliant pick. I mean, you go with
Wow.
possibly one of the best players in the draft, in one Davion Mitchell, point guard out of Baylor. So again, you know, you're getting another point guard here. You've got De'Aaron Fox, but the what screams about Davion Mitchell is another word: franchise. This is another franchise type player. A guy that's going to come in, he's going to be a leader, he's going to get your team going in the right direction. We're talking the Naismith and Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Probably the best, is it safe to say, Ben, they're probably the best defender in the draft. I mean, something that the Kings could definitely use. Davion Mitchell going to Sacramento. Ben, what are your thoughts on Davion Mitchell pairing up with De'Aaron Fox here?
I love it, and you're exactly right. I think he is the best defender in this draft, at the very least, the best perimeter defender in this draft. And pairing him on a team that is in desperate need of perimeter defense, boom, done. Easy choice if you're the Kings. They actually made a really nice decision here. I'm happy for them. They didn't screw it up. You know, sometimes the easiest pick is the right pick, and that's definitely the case here, if you ask me. So, Davion Mitchell, very happy for him. He should find some good minutes early, and I think he's going to be a guy who can run the second unit for them. And of course, now they're going to show the comparison to Donovan Mitchell because they share the same initials and the same number on their jersey. But I happen to think Donovan Mitchell is a much better shot creator, at least coming out of college, than Davion Mitchell is right now. But he can certainly get there, and I love the nickname off net because his defense and not because of his offense. I think that is amazing.
For sure. And you know, the thing with the with Mitchell going to Sacramento is you made the point. You were surprised they did not screw it up. I'm glad to report my sources told me that Jerry Jones did not make this pick for the Sacramento Kings. So I'm glad to report that for Sacramento. Josh, we're seeing Davion Mitchell go here at number 9 to the Sacramento Kings. What are your thoughts on Davion Mitchell going there? I mean, one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the draft. Makes total sense for the Kings.
Definitely, that's what they needed. And another driving guard, they already have a good amount of that, so that's going to be good for them. It's one of those picks where it's like it's not expected when you go into the night, but then when you see them, when you see what's on the board, you're like, all right, it makes sense. So
yeah, and again, Davion Mitchell. I mean, you can't really say anything bad about it. Honestly, the way this draft has gone, if we're being brutally honest, the way the draft has gone, I just see one pick there where it's kind of mind-boggling to me, and that's the Josh Giddey pick. But again, I guess if it's somebody you really want, you got to go get him.
Yeah.
But OKC does have 2 other picks in the first round, so it does make sense. If you're going to go get a Giddey and you want Giddey, get Giddey and go get Giddey, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Get Giddey and go get Giddey.
Exactly. That should be on a T-shirt. Dakota Mitchell, if you are listening, we need a get Giddey and go Giddey T-shirt.
Speaking of that, though, let's do another giveaway for the $15 Spurs fan shop now that it's 8 o'clock. I actually just did the selection based of our retweets, and the winner for that one is at Red Baron 30. He was Think No Walls Look Hippie Life. I believe we read his comment earlier.
Yeah.
So congrats on that. I'll reach out to you in a DM, and then in the next hour we're going to have the Keldon Johnson Team USA shirt sometime between 8 and 9. So look forward to that. That'll be also for people that are interacting with us. I'm going to put all the names on there and pick from there later on.
Awesome. So we gave away another gift card, $15 to the Spurs fan shop. Congratulations to our winner.
Who was the winner?
It was Think No Walls Look Hippie Life that I believe we read his comment earlier.
Oh, nice. So congratulations. We got another satisfied winner. We got to keep those, people engaged, and we got to get people to come in and interact with us so they can get a chance to win some more of the great prizes we're giving away tonight. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. We want some hearts over here on some love over on Facebook Live. If you're listening to us on Periscope or on Twitter, make sure you RT, please. We greatly appreciate it. That way, more people can go ahead and get more interactive with us. So, great job, guys. You're doing a wonderful job for the NBA Draft live coverage.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. And we've actually got the pick is in right now. Whoa. The New Orleans Pelicans are picking right here, and they took my boy, the boy that I was liking the entire time.
This is early.
And this is
way too
very early as one.
Way
Zaire Williams is going to go pair up with a Zion Williams son. Oh. We have Zaire Williams, 6'8", 185-pound player out of Stanford. He's a pretty good shot creator. I mean, I like what he's doing. I like his game. Is it too early in the draft for Zaire Williams?
Yes.
Yes. A capital Y, capital E, and I'm going to go ahead and lowercase the S. It is a definite yes that this is pretty early for Zaire Williams. But, again, the thing with the NBA, think about it like this. Potential trades. I mean, this could be setting up for another trade. Ben,
Rudy, remember, this isn't the Pelicans pick. This is the Memphis pick.
Okay, so there you go. It's going to be for the Memphis Grizzlies per the trade that was happening for Jonas Valanciunas and Steven Adams, that whole deal.
Right,
so,
the one from earlier this week.
Okay, so then this goes to Memphis. It doesn't stay with New Orleans. But if we're looking at Memphis, you've just picked up a Steven Adams. You've obviously got a Ja Morant there. If you're adding a Zaire Williams, that kind of potentially says, what do you think about a Kyle Anderson now? Because Zaire kind of fits right there alongside Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams. You're not going to obviously play him in for Brooks or Morant. But I do like this because now you've got Kyle Anderson coming off the bench for Memphis, gives him that 6-man role. I like the pick. If it's staying with Memphis, I do like this pick a lot. Ben, what do you got on Zaire?
This is a reach, and I think it's a bad one. Even if you're Memphis and you just got those players added, the players from this trade added to your team, I'm not sure that if you're going to trade up to 10, you didn't need to trade up to 10 to get Zaire Williams. This is a guy who's probably going to be available after 15.
Yeah.
So I don't like that pick, and I don't think I've said that tonight yet.
Not even with the Giddey pick you did.
There was a bit. It was a bit of a reach. I will say that I thought that was a reach, but he had been in that range from other mock drafts that I had seen, so I wasn't totally surprised. But it's it's definitely wild to me that he went at 10 when he could have been had at maybe 18 or 20.
Yeah.
If you're Memphis and you wanted to trade up, you could have traded to one of those picks. But I'm very curious to see how all of their new pieces are going to fit next season now.
James Booknight is just
so
sitting
we're
there.
we're at
He's got to be livid.
We got the tweet of
Yeah.
the night. I got to read the tweet of the night or the comment of the night so far.
I will let you comment. I will let you
Oh,
read
man.
this comment, but I'm going to give you some background on that. So go ahead. Go ahead.
John Hernandez, Darth Odium, watching us from YouTube. I'm sorry. Breaking news. He goes, Spurs will draft Rudy Booty Campos.
So we're going to go with this because I'm going to give you a quick background on that. Being a alumnus and a graduate of Central Catholic High School, class of '97, my nickname in high school was Booty Rudy. And
I'm scared to ask.
No. It has nothing to do. I
suspected
clearly,
you got the name on a bet, and we don't want to know about it.
Actually, no. I really can't say how that name came about. If any one of my Central alumnus brotherhood out there is out there and want to explain how I got the name, other than it rhymes with Rudy, I will gladly take it. But hey, it's a nickname that's been with me forever. So I'm glad it came out on my debut with Project Spurs tonight. I'm going to have the entire Project Spurs staff calling me Booty now.
nice.
I got to work out.
Booty
Booty
be your
Rudy.
intro,
I think
yeah.
we need to wear shirts next time. Booty Rudy.
God.
Man,
I got
Brian,
to
we're
work
gonna
out.
have so many shirts.
Dakota on one. We got a long list of shirts we need from Dakota.
Yeah,
now.
Dakota, we're definitely going to hit you up. Hey, Josh. Okay, so I mentioned Book Night. It's still out there. And, I mean, this could be a potential spot for Book Night at Charlotte. Charlotte, where then you have the Spurs coming
man.
up.
I mean, yeah, we're at 11. I think we need to start focusing on the Spurs. Let's see what are they gonna do. I wanna hear from Ben, who is pick. Now I know he wanted Wagner. He's long gone. So
Yeah.
Ben, who are you looking at?
I'm terrified. I'm
There's
absolutely.
no
I
Buck
did-
Knight out there. There's,
I did.
obviously there's Kai.
I
there's
did say the
Jalen.
Spurs are going to trade the 12 for cash considerations. And we're going to see an uproar in Spurs Twitter. But no, who?
Listen, if
Who
the
do you got?
50, what was it, the 51st or the 57th pick earlier today was traded for $2 million,
Something like that.
what do you
yeah.
think the 12th pick is for? How much salary cap are the Spurs going to have this year if
Oh
they
my
trade that
God.
for cash? I got to know.
I don't know, man. I mean, they're actually
I mean,
sitting
that's
pretty in
gotta be-
cap.
Number 12 pick has got to be worth, what, at least 20 mil?
Probably. So that's a max player, which you don't even have to pay for. If you think
That's
about it.
right? That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So
We
Okay.
got breaking news. The pick
Uh-oh.
is in, but we're waiting for Adam Silver to step on the podium.
Okay.
Get us out of this commercial. Let's ride.
So the Charlotte Hornets are on the clock. And before we get to Charlotte, we are talking about the Spurs. They are coming up at 12. Ben, real quick, who do you think the Spurs are going to go with here at 12? I mean, considering that pretty much everybody they wanted is there.
pick is in.
All their options are here.
Oh,
It
no.
terrifies me. We're here. All right. If I'm going to make I'm going to call my shot. I'm going to do it. You're going to make me do it. I think it's going to be Corey Kispert. I hope to God it's Corey Kispert because I love me a shooter.
Joe's shaking his head no.
So I think we have the pick in for Charlotte. Now, Charlotte does have the Rookie of the Year in LaMelo Ball. Does he potentially get that shooter to go alongside a Gordon Hayward with him? Because if they end up going with a Kispert here, and you pairing him up with a Gordon Hayward,
Yeah.
that opens up the lanes for LaMelo.
Yeah. Things can get pretty saucy in Charlotte if they do that.
Yes, we're gonna see who the pick is. The pick is in. We're waiting for Adam Silver to get to the podium.
Yes.
Spurs fans,
Stop giving us your analysis. Get us to our pick. Pick is in. Stop
That's
making
why
me
you
wait.
listen
you don't
to
need to hear
us. We
Perkins
would've-
try to get through a sentence.
Yeah, that's why you listen to us. You watch the draft, but you listen to us because we
Kendrick
give you the
Perkins trying to
absolute
get through a
best
sentence.
coverage.
That's not
Best
ideal.
coverage. This is the coverage of the 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings is giving away $50,000 in cash and prizes. All you got to do is go to DraftKings, sign up, go to the Olympics, the free pool plays. Just go there, get on the Olympic events, make your picks, answer a few questions. You could win $50K in cash and prizes. That's all you got to do to go to DraftKings. And you got to use the code TBPN when you sign up. That's all you got to do. TBPN, sign up. Go to DraftKings now. Again, DraftKings is a sponsor tonight of the NBA 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs. Pick is in. Are we going to see Book Knight go right here to Charlotte?
What is Adam Silver waiting for? You have plenty of time to go to the bathroom in between picks.
What worries me here is the fact that it's probably a name he can't pronounce.
Yikes.
So it's probably something like that. So hopefully it's
there
not.
It is. Book Knight doesn't fall any further. He was definitely about to lose it.
So the pick is in. Adam Silver is at the podium. Charlotte Hornets select James Bouknight. And
good for him.
Again, you're getting a guy who top 10, Ben. I mean, was mostly top 10 the entire time. You're giving a guy like LaMelo Ball another scoring option here. And it's
Absolutely.
a great scoring option because now there's not so much pressure on Hayward, but that makes Hayward that much better, in my opinion, in Charlotte. LaMelo Ball is really Josh Giddey right now. And we were using Giddey a lot tonight. I love that. Where he's really Giddey right now because he's getting himself a score. James Bouknight, Ben, tell everybody at home how you feel about the book.
I think it's going to be a nice pick for the Hornets. He's a guy who can go out and get his own shot, create his own shot, and I think now that's one less thing LaMelo Ball has to do for this team, and that's less of a load that he has to shoulder. So I think he's going to be a nice pick for the Hornets, and he's a UConn guy. He's got there's kind of some Kemba in his game, but he's much bigger. He's about 6'5", so. I think if he shores up the 3-point shooting, he'll be even better. I mean, he shot only about 30% or so this past season, but he also had wrist surgery, which kept him out for a bunch of games. So I think once he gets his confidence back and once he gets rolling, he's going to be just fine.
Josh, real quick, give us some insight on the Bouknight here for Charlotte, the Bouknight pick, before we get into Spurs talk.
I mean, honestly, I'm in Spurs mode at this point.
Oh, no.
I'm in Spurs
ready,
mode, too.
Yes, I'm ready to talk about what the Spurs are going to do.
All right.
Well, he's a nice player. Cool.
He's a nice,
Let's talk Spurs now.
We're giving you the best analyst tonight for every draft pick, and we got it, definitely. But we're all excited. We're all, dare I say, giddy about this next pick for sure.
You need to stop daring to say that.
Hey, it's better than saying booty, right? I mean,
I like Jalen Johnson. He's available. Jalen
So,
Johnson is available.
Joe is saying Jalen Johnson.
Johnson's there. Kai is still there.
Ben is saying
all of the guys
Corey
that
Kispert.
Spurs Nation wants
Moses
are available.
Moody's out there.
Shengun is
Alperen
available.
Şengün.
Jalen Johnson's available. Kai Jones is available.
Garuba.
Who are we taking a swing on tonight, fellas?
Or do they do something unpredictable and they trade down in the draft?
Oh,
Are they drafting for
Boy.
another team here?
We don't know.
That's,
There's been
man,
rumors
that
that
would-
they're going to go ahead and trade down in the draft and possibly get the 19th and the 21st pick. So it's
yeah, but
gonna
there
be
are also
interesting.
rumors they were going to trade up, and that hasn't happened.
That
So
hasn't
here
happened,
we
but
are.
you never know. I mean, we got 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes here. The Spurs are still on the clock, so
it's Spurs pick right now, 2021 NBA draft.
you're a gambling
cover.
man, Rudy. You're at the craps table. What are you going to do?
Oh God, you had to put me in this.
Who do you go
position
for?
there. I'm gonna stick with Jalen Johnson because that's
So
who I've stuck
terrified.
with the entire time. I'm gonna.
He
stick
does
with
have
Jalen
some
Johnson.
baggage coming from Duke.
He does have baggage. Being from Duke, you always have baggage, and that's not a major shout out.
Oh, all right,
But-
Tar Heel guy,
All right,
relax.
no, it's no secret I'm a Tar Heel, that's for sure. But I think you can overlook the problems that Jalen Johnson may have because of where he's going to the type of organization the Spurs are. I really feel Jalen Johnson could be a beneficial player. He could be a great player for the Spurs. Kai Jones makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. They worked him out longer than
Anybody.
Yeah. So
All right, Kendrick Perkins.
Remember,
thinks
they
that
took him
the
to dinner,
Spurs
too.
Kendrick Perkins thinks the Spurs are going to take Day'Ron Sharp at 12, and he clearly doesn't know anything about the draft. So
Day'Ron
this is
Sharp.
why I have
Why,
to
why
watch.
don't they just take him off the air already? I don't even know why he's
No,
there.
no. Leave him on the air because that means more people will listen to
Yeah.
us and watch the
in
draft.
fact,
So
get
leave
four
him on the
Kendricks
air.
out there.
Unbelievable.
Kendrick, you're
I have-
doing
I have
a
it-
fantastic job.
I have
You're
closed
doing it.
captions, and it's still driving me nuts.
For him to say Darren Sharp, I'm a Tar Heel fan.
Watch, he's
I've
going to come
always-
up now.
I've always been a huge Tar Heel fan forever.
If the Spurs swing on a guy like Day'Ron Sharp and they don't swing on a guy like Kai Jones, then I will legitimately be upset. I might have to walk out of the room for a few minutes.
I think Twitter will shut down tonight because of all the rioting between Spurs Twitter.
Spurs Twitter will shut things down for sure.
The city will burn. It'll burn it with fire.
No taco left unburnt in the city of San Antonio.
Taking Day'Ron Sharp right here is like taking Mitchell Trubisky too. This doesn't make sense.
Mitchell Trubisky.
No shot at any Bears fans.
The snack is better than the player.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, man. We're coming up to the Spurs pick right now.
The pick is in.
The pick is in. San Antonio, you have been waiting for a while to see who this pick is. Does Spurs Twitter burn down? Do we just pack up and go home after this pick because all of y'all are going to turn off and not listen anymore? I see John Hernandez, Charles Bassey for the Spurs. Maybe in the second round, John. I'm saying
he also
maybe
said the
in the
Spurs are
second
going to use
round.
every damn second on the clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Accurate.
I have a question mark from Chris Galler out there. Joshua Primo question mark? Oh, I don't even want to read the comments right now because I don't want to see what's going on, but we're going to see here coming up pretty soon. It's according to what we see, it's 26 seconds left. So,
yeah, we're a little behind. I think people are already seeing. I just saw a Woj tweet, but I'm not looking.
Probably not a good idea to look. Maybe so.
No, not a good idea to look.
Pick is in. I think Ben knows, and if Ben knows, then I think we're gonna pack it up. I heard the no
Joe
from the
knows
man
too.
behind the glass.
Please stop talking, analysts. Just get us to our pick. Oh my gosh, this is driving me nuts. They just get Adam Silver up on the stage. The pick is in. I know he has the envelope. Why do we even have envelopes? Actually,
They're taking an awful lot of time. Maybe they're doing a little trade or something. Who knows?
The picks should be digitally on his podium. They should just pop up on his podium.
Where's Tony Stark when you need him?
Thank you. Somebody gets it. Oh my gosh.
I have a feeling if it's true, I'm just gonna go straight to Ben on it.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna be kind of not sick to my stomach, but I'm gonna be kind of.
Well, there's a rumor going on right now. Some of our fans are tweeting or commenting. It says that the Spurs are rumored to be going after. I can't even see it now.
Oh God.
Oh, targeting Josh Primo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see John Diaz is in the chat and he dropped a 4-letter. So I'm assuming Spurs Twitter is going to burn down tonight after this pick. The pick is in. Adam Silver slowly walking.
A couple of those
to
fans
the
look excited.
podium.
Josh Primo. Whoo! Josh Primo. Wow.
All right, so Ben, you gave it away there, but Joshua Primo.
Oh,
guard.
sorry. I didn't know I was a few seconds ahead of you. My bad.
You're good. You're good. Joshua Primo, 6'6" guard out of Alabama. Basically a shot maker for Alabama.
Yep.
I don't know. Okay, we've only got 4 guards on the Spurs roster.
I need a minute, man. This is damn.
You've got 4 guards on the roster, so it makes sense to take a guard. It really does. 3 of the guards.
We're being joined right now by Paul Garcia.
3 of the guards basically are point guards. So Josh Primo does make I guess, some sense being 6'6". But Ben, give me your quick thoughts on Josh Primo before we get to Paul here.
I am at a loss for words. There were so many options for the Spurs. They could have addressed their shooting at the wing position. They could have addressed their front court issues. But they got Joshua Primo, who's a shooting guard. A good shooter. Don't get me wrong. Good shooter. He's also the youngest guy in this draft. So that is a huge plus. He's going to have years to develop, which is fantastic. But it is that feels like a brutal pick, considering all of the things we had heard about the guys they worked out, all of, just going through what the Spurs had gone through this year. Yes, they desperately need shooting. He can address that. I get it, but he's not really a shot creator. And if you're not going to be a shot creator, I would love for you to be 6'7" or taller. So that's just me. But you know, we got to reserve judgment until we see him play. Hopefully, he gives us a little flash of something in the summer league, and we can get excited about it. But until then, I will not get too down. I will not get too up. Very excited for pick 41. Is it too early?
Right. Paul, what are you feeling about Joshua Primo? I mean, to me, this is disheartening. I think Pop in the front office are just getting a little too cute at this point.
I mean, I'm with Ben. I mean, Ben's the best guy for, he's our draft expert here. So, take his observations exactly. For me, I'm the numbers guy. So I'm looking at it. I mean, the earliest he was supposed to go was 24th on most mock. I mean, and the average selection was 28th. Like, he was definitely on the ballpark of where the Spurs were. So I guess my biggest takeaway is what Ben said. They're just banking on the youth and trying to get him to become part of the future with this team. And I'm trying to get some comps real quick. I was like, that's how much this shocks me, is that I already have my comps for all the players that I was ready to talk about at 12 range, and Primo was not on the list. So now I'm like behind here in my research. So okay, so the three comps I see here are Terrence Ross, Karis LeVert, and Anthony Simons from the Blazers. So like Ben said there, a young wing. Maybe they can start getting him some of those backup minutes where if Patty Mills leaves in free agency. So that's kind of where I see you can start getting him some early minutes despite his youth. But yeah, I mean, this is a very guard heavy team right now. And so, yeah, it's just like really shocking right now. And like Ben said, I just think that they're banking on the youth part of this.
So is this somewhere where we're looking at, you get into Josh Primo at number 12. Does this mean pretty much they are all in on the John Collins free agency this summer?
So that's a good question, because I honestly thought had they taken like Corey Kispert or Moses Moody, a shooter, a three-point shooter specifically, they would have gone for who you're talking about, Collins. But now I just didn't think like a smaller guard, 6'5", 6'6", was the case here. Ben, go ahead and take your response there.
Yeah, I mean, I think now having some of these trades done, or at least agreed in principle to, I think the Spurs are really the only team that can legitimately go out and sign John Collins and get him away from Atlanta, because everyone else isn't going to be able to offer enough money. So I still think John Collins is very much a play, especially if they don't address their big issue in the second round or via trade elsewhere. I mean, if they don't go out and sign John Collins, they're going to have to go out. They're going to have to find some NBA vet guys, who are older, longer in the tooth, and maybe have them for a year and see if they can go chase someone in free agency next year when the class is much better.
Yeah, Josh, you're a little quiet over
I'm reading
here.
Some comments here.
What do you got comment wise? Because I know the fans, from what I've seen, are
this was just on Twitter actually. Someone said, did they accidentally submit their second round pick first, or what? This is just from somebody.
No, he's. Yeah, you're serious, Josh. Like, some mocks do have him in the second round. Like, that's not surprising. Like, to hear that. So it's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stunned. I didn't have him on any list, any radar. He shares my name. I barely even know who he is. So this is
and the first initial of your last name. So there might be a tie
You know what
there.
this
dad's name
pick
is
actually
Primo.
signifies to me, this Joshua Primo pick, that the San Antonio Spurs are going to be delegated to NBA playoff purgatory for the next couple seasons, because he's going to obviously go to the Austin Spurs for development.
Well, okay, so there's a comment in here by Haiti, and I kind of like it. It makes me think maybe this is a pick for Atlanta, because you're maybe trying to work a sign and trade.
And we're also going to be joined right now by Vicky Vix.
Hello.
Hey, Vicky. So since
Vicky.
you're joining us right now, what do you have to say about the Joshua Primo pick? Because we're all I need to be taken off the ledge right now. I'm not really happy with this.
I'm just shocked. I mean, going in, I was like, oh, they've got all these options. There's so many great players still left. And then you hear this name. I mean, in a lot of what I was seeing, Joshua Primo was like projected way lower. I don't know, just completely shocked. I'm not really sure what they're wanting to do. I mean, I know I've like read up on how he's a good catch and shoot 3-point shooter, but I mean, I just don't understand, other than that aspect, what the Spurs would be doing, going with another guard when there were so many talented big players in there. I don't know. And it wasn't like this was the best overall pick that was available either.
Yeah.
I'm just really confused.
I think we're all going to have a lot to say tomorrow morning, Vicky. We're all going to have like
yes.
a prayer circle or something to console each other.
I must have bought the wrong candle.
Is this potentially, are they going to try to trade? I was like, when I heard it, I just don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know, but Paul's going to have a media session here pretty soon, so he might have to bounce out here. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, Paul.
There's that rumor that the Knicks were trying to get move up to 12. So maybe 1921. But again, I don't see why taking a guy who's in the 20s. Why you would trade back for that? Why teams would do that?
Yeah.
Tell the Spurs to take him. So I mean, if we think about it, I mean the Spurs have had a good eye the last few years. They've found good quality role players. Give them the benefit of the doubt. The last like I guess you could say player who didn't work out was Nikola Milutinov. I think that was 2015. So he's the only guy who never came to the league. I mean, all the other players that they drafted, we saw Devin Vassell had a good year, Trey Jones. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, this is a stretch. I just know that for sure. I mean, there's a big gap from 12 to all the way to 28 where you're supposed to go. So that's going to be kind of something, it's almost like a lot of pressure on Primo to show up because there's like 16 picks now ahead of him in the future now, seeing, he's going to be, weighted against those players going forward.
You know what this feels like to me, Paul? You get ready. You get ready for the senior prom, right? And you're all excited, and your date just leaves you there, man. So you got to settle and take your sister.
No.
You got to take your sister to the
Joe,
prom.
that got dark, man.
Sounds like
an
actual
Joe,
story.
Did you tell us something?
So who did you talk to about my high school story, my high school prom story?
Dude, I was just making that up. I didn't know, bro. I'm sorry.
You looked right at me, Joe. Someone talked to you
I'll
about
pour
it.
some out for you, my friend.
Personal on the show tonight.
Oh, no.
Paul made a good point here because the Knicks were high on two guys, Joshua Primo and the guy that was just selected by the Indiana Pacers being Chris Duarte. They were high on both guys. So could the potential be of a Knicks Spurs swap here? Again, you've got two teams that have massive amount of cap room. So could it be that Primo is going to be possibly traded along maybe with a DeMar to New York in return for maybe whoever they get at 19 or 20, 21?
I mean, just from a cap perspective, I don't see that just because the Knicks, like you said, they have as much cap space as the Spurs, so they can just sign DeMar outright. They don't need to try to work a trade for him. So I don't know what the I mean, maybe Ben, you have some more on there, on that.
I have nothing left for you tonight.
I know. He's given up.
It's too early to call it.
Good God, you're going to leave me hanging for another 16 more picks.
Sorry, I got to bounce. This is fine. Everything is fine. I mean, Joshua Primo, shooter, good shooter. Again, youngest guy in the draft. I think that's kind of where you have to emphasize things. But if they do get a trade back with the Knicks, that would be quite interesting, especially because you guys mentioned the Hawks earlier. The Knicks have two picks that sandwich that Hawks pick. Actually, they have the 19 and 21. Hawks have the 20. So if they move back and get those two, give them the 12, and I don't know how you make the salaries and things work out like that. I'm not smart enough for these things. But if you can make that happen, and there are still some guys, if you can still get Kai Jones at 19 or 21, then you've definitely made a winning decision. Yeah, so because he's much less of a risk at that pick, at either of those picks, and you get a big, which is absolutely what you need, because as much as we all love Jakob Poeltl, he is not quite enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well,
I think that's the.
No, I was going to say we're going to have to go ahead and say goodbye to you guys because we got the pick in already. So we got to go ahead and keep the show moving forward.
All right, cool.
But we'll have more to talk about,
you.
Paul and Vicky. We'll go ahead and have something special coming out.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for your time, guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
See y'all.
So the pick is in. Actually, we're gonna cover back real quick.
Got two picks.
Indiana Pacers did end up taking Chris Duarte out of Oregon, 6'6" guard, 190. But let's get into this pick real quick because this was a pick that was potentially supposed to be a Spurs player. Moses Moody is going to the Golden State Warriors, pairing up nicely with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and the newly acquired Jonathan Kuminga. You've got 6'6" guard, 205 pounds out of Arkansas, a true 3-and-D player. Ben, Moses Moody to the Warriors. I tell you, man, this team is just loading up on talent.
They absolutely are doing that. It must be, it must be nice to be actually a good team and still get all these high picks. Who did they pull the veil over on this? I do not understand. How are they able to do this? I mean, they had no business getting James Wiseman last year. They have no business getting these picks this year. And yet here we are, because a couple of dudes get injured and now they're going to be super stacked because of injuries. And I guess I really can't complain after making the Spurs 97 comparison earlier. So I guess I don't really have a whole lot of room to talk there, but I'm still going to be upset about it, because that's what I do.
I hear you, man.
Warriors making some good picks. Good for you. I hate you.
I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. I'm wondering if I should be a Warriors fan now. No, I can't do
Don't
that
do
to
that.
the Spurs. I can't do that.
Please don't.
Josh, Moses Moody going at 14. We had Duarte going at 13. Moody for the Warriors. I mean, like I've told Ben, they're just reloading big time. This is a team that, if everything stays intact, you're talking about a team that is literally built through the draft now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a championship team that is built through the draft. Moody's going to be amazing there alongside Stephen Clay.
Yeah, he would have been amazing here too. I don't know.
Yeah, he would have been great with the Spurs, but we got some comments here on the
Yeah.
screen.
Let's get to a couple of comments here. Remember, guys, we are giving away some stuff. We're coming up with a Keldon Johnson Custom USA shirt as a giveaway coming up here, exclusive NBA Draft T-shirt of the newest Spur on the back. As of right now, it's going to be Primo, which in San Antonio actually kind of makes sense because we use the word Primo a lot here in San Antonio. We still have a $15 Spurs fan shop gift card to give away. We've got some comments in here. Josh, you want to help me read some of these? I've got, looks like Nathan in here. Spurs L franchise.
That means they're taking that L
Taking
because of
that
that
L,
draft
yeah.
pick that they just
Probably.
got.
I do like we all just ate a Spurs enema. That's kind of graphic, but
John Diaz, our good friend, said he had to come back
Glucose
because he
swabbing.
just had an aneurysm.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I told y'all Spurs Twitter may burn to the ground.
I
And
mean-
it's possible.
We might have to do some talking off the ledge, man. It might
So-
come down to that tonight.
on that note, there is one positive comment I saw. It's actually from Rob Perez. You know him as Worldwide Wob on Twitter. He said, anybody but the Spurs make that Primo pick this early and they would get wrecked. But since it's the Spurs, we all just nod in agreement. They've earned that. So,
He's not wrong.
I mean, that's the only positive thing
Sad
I've seen
but
about
true.
this pick. That we just nod in agreement because it's the Spurs. They make it work. So that's a little positivity from him. We'll see if it actually comes true. It seems, I don't know.
Rome burned in one day,
No.
right? It took a couple days to burn it down. Didn't it burn in one day? They destroyed it in one day, right? Historically or something. Something like that, if I remember my history lessons correctly. That's what's going to happen with Spurs Twitter.
All I know is that
Yeah.
we're not giving away the location of this draft because I don't want nobody knocking on the door when we're about to leave later on. I have nothing to do with the pick. I just announced the pick along with Josh and Joe. We have Ben Bornstein with us, the draft guru himself. The
We have Jonah Kubasek here saying, if Primo is the next Keldon Johnson level steal, I'll eat my hat. So not
Great. I hope
very.
it's biodegradable.
He actually is a great writer. He helps me at Air Alamo. So thanks for being here, Jonah.
Thank you, Jonah, for that.
He's been very active in the chat too.
Before we get into the next pick, which belongs to the Washington Wizards at 15,
Yeah, and the pick is in, by the way.
pick is in. Give me a real quick 3-minute assessment, Ben, of Chris Duarte, who was taken by the Pacers at 13.
Yeah, he had been trending up in recent mock drafts. He was a guy who was originally in like the 20s. Out of Oregon, one of the older guys in this draft, very good shooter. He's basically a vet at this point. You can plug and play him. It's easy. He is not going to be an issue for them at all. He can play a little bit of defense, so he's fine there. And I mean, he's just an easy guy to play with. If you got the chance to stay up late and watch West Coast games, you were definitely a fan of Chris Duarte, unless of course your team was playing him. So
Yeah,
I think they got a really nice pick there. I actually thought that they needed a shooter and they were going to take Kispert, but Chris Duarte also a solid shooter. So no real complaints on that pick.
42% shooter from 3-point range. I mean, that's no
Seems
joke
good.
right there. That seems
Pretty good,
really
pretty
good
good.
right there. Oh yeah, for sure. And Indiana they definitely need some shooters there. So getting a Chris Duarte, I still think it was kind of early for Duarte, but what do I know? I mean, we saw Primo go super early, so I guess early to us is not early to other teams. So yeah, Duarte definitely ready. He's going to make a pretty good impact over in Indiana. I like what they're setting up over there. He still got Sabonis and Miles Turner there as well. So Chris Duarte going number 13 to the Indiana Pacers. We are at pick number 15 right now. Moses Moody was just selected by the Golden State Warriors to join alongside Jonathan Kuminga, as well as Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. We're getting a lot more comments in the chat. Let's see. Someone is saying trade everything. LOL.
Everything.
That's my spirit animal. That's my spirit animal.
Everything.
There's our first burn down Twitter comment right there.
Yeah, definitely. You want to trade everything. So, yeah, I'm still lost for words. But is it? They've earned the right to just say trust the front office, right?
No, man, they just being cute right at this point. You had Jalen Johnson, you had Kai Jones, Segun, you had all these players just sitting there, and you go with Joshua Primo. Like,
but
you went and picked the Ford Festiva when it's right next to all these nice racing cars, man. You could have picked something, a Lexus. You could have had an Acura. No, you go with the Ford Festiva.
Okay, so I'm going to use an NFL comparison to this on the draft. And Ben and Josh, y'all can jump in here too as well. Yes, players are dropping. Players that are supposed to be the pick for the Spurs and maybe another team. Players are dropping. We're seeing a Kispert drop, a Jalen Johnson drop. We're seeing players drop. But at one point or another, you saw players like an Aaron Rodgers drop to the late first round. We've seen players drop left and right. You saw a lottery pick player in Keldon Johnson drop to the Spurs at 29? I mean, Keldon would have been a lottery pick coming out of high school. So obviously you see players dropping all the time. Where I'm getting at is these guys know something about these players that just doesn't sit well with them. Or the other part of it is, this is going to be a trade. Someone really wanted Josh Primo. They felt he was going to be gone by the time they pick. Hey, Spurs, give us Primo. We've got a trade in the works. That seems more likely than saying Primo's going to be the pick for the Spurs in the long term, I think.
Rudy, he's back. You know how you watch Thor or was it the Avengers? And Noob Master 87? That's your friend John Hernandez. He's back, Rudy.
I think it was New Master 69.
Yeah, Noob Master, whatever, dude. It's funny.
Don't call my mom. Please don't call my mom. Josh, you were going to say something in regards to the Primo talk that I was just having about.
Oh, no, it wasn't about that. I was just, there was a separate thing on Twitter that I was reading about how maybe there's another move in the making. Matthew Tynan, who used to cover, he was on The Athletic. He wrote for them. He said, surprising pick or no, drafting another guard adds to the belief of the Spurs that we'll be looking to make a move for a young front court player, whether that's now or in the future. Clearly that guy wasn't in the draft in their minds, at least not at 12. So people still just kind of hoping that there's another move. This is just the first part of it, but it's still it's a strange choice, even if they're making a move.
They did work him out too, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if they worked him out. I don't remember if he was on the list, but if they're drafting another guard, was that going to signify that they're going to be saying goodbye to somebody?
Or not. I mean, he's 6'6". I mean, you've only really got Lonnie Walker at that position, which is around shooting guard. I mean, you've got Trey Jones, Murray, and White. All three are technically point guards.
So I have a breaking. This isn't Spurs, but I have a breaking trade.
Okay.
Oklahoma City is trading the 16th pick to Houston.
Wow.
So now Houston is getting.
Draft has to catch up here. They're getting behind. Shams is trying to outpace this draft by like 5 picks. So.
Yeah, so that's the latest. I'm not going to say it. He's already saying who they're taking and stuff, but that's the latest. Oklahoma's trading their 16th pick to Houston.
So
Finally, we have the Wizards.
Houston is getting that 16th pick. So to go alongside a Jalen Green,
Yeah.
and like we said, Christian Woods. I
Mhm.
mean Porter there too. It's Houston's looking good.
Every other team in the West is
Why not trade up to 16? Because you've got so much talent on the board still. I mean, so much talent for Houston. Corey Kispert right there for 16. If he falls and he doesn't go to Washington here, I mean, that just makes it that much better for Houston.
How far behind are you?
So we just got
The
to
Washington
the
pick is
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't even look at the TV, so I'm sorry there. Washington pick is in. Corey Kispert's right there. He's going to be playing alongside Bradley Beal because Bradley Beal did say he wanted to stay in Washington. Corey
And he
Kispert,
needs a shooter.
they need a shooter. They got a shooter. Definitely probably the best shooter in the draft. Ben, are you changing the alliances now? Are you going to be a Wizards fan? That your boy Kispert is a Wizard now.
You couldn't pay me to be a Wizards fan. They are terrible. But, yeah, Bradley Beal gets a lot of help. He gets shooting help. They're going to have Rui Hachimura, who will undoubtedly improve as a shooter and a playmaker as well, which will help. They're going to have, and with that trade with the Lakers, they're going to have a few other pieces that'll help Beal as well. So I think Corey Kispert, all he has to worry about is getting to his spot, shooting the three, and making sure he hits it, 35 to 40% of the time, and he's going to have a job.
Yeah, for sure. And, the Kispert pick, I do like it for Washington. I mean, you pair him up with what they have right there, assuming Rui Hachimura is there. It's gonna open up the lane for Rui. Denny's there as well, so you've got some good youth right there to go along with Bradley Beal. Is it going to turn the franchise around with Corey Kispert? No, not anytime soon. But a very solid pick there. Josh, 15, Corey Kispert. Definitely a good pick for them. Like we said, it's not going to be a franchise-saving pick for them right there. They're still going to be bottom of the barrel Eastern Conference, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, that's just how the team is comprised already. One person's not going to turn it all around.
DeMar DeRozan might. I'm just saying.
DeMar DeRozan, yeah. I mean, different pieces will, yeah. But,
yeah.
I mean, good. They got a shooter. I mean, great.
I think we're a little bit excited for this next pick at 16 because even though we're not supposed to be Rocket fans, we have to be fans of every single team tonight because you are watching, and I know you're watching because a lot of you are commenting, the 2021 NBA draft coverage of the first round, powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. Hey, I was going to let you know about DraftKings here. The games are underway, and DraftKings is bringing you to the podium. That's right. You can score a gold medal with DraftKings. You have a chance to win $50,000 in total cash prizes. All you got to do is go to DraftKings, sign up today, use the code TBPN, go into the pools where you can play free. All you got to do, guys, listen to this real carefully. Answer questions, a handful of questions around what do you think is going to happen during the day's events of the Olympics. Basically, they're going to ask you questions about medal count and specific questions to Team USA. That's it. That's your chance to win $50,000 in total cash prizes. Easy as that. Download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use promo code TBPN when you sign up to get your free shot at up to $50,000 in cash and prizes. Every day, the games in Tokyo are being played. Head to DraftKings Pools page to get your shot at huge cash prizes. Use that promo code TBPN for a limited time only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for full details. Also, last but not least, guys, we still have some giveaways to give away. We're going to be giving away that Keldon Johnson Custom USA shirt here pretty soon. We've got the exclusive NBA Draft T-shirt. Both of them actually done by Dakota Mitchell. He's going to put, as of right now, Joshua Primo will be on the back of that T-shirt right there.
He actually sent it to me already, so I have it.
We may have an image of that already. Will Primo be a
boy.
Spur? We'll find out. Last but not least, we also have a $15 Spurs fan shop gift card that we'll be giving away as well. Keep joining us. Keep commenting with us tonight. This is the coverage of the 2021 NBA Draft powered by Project Spurs and sponsored by the DraftKings app. We are getting back into some comments here.
So you'll never guess what the Thunder got.
The
two
Thunder.
more future
Oh,
first
wait.
round
Wow.
picks.
Yeah, let me guess. All of it.
Wow.
Good lord.
So
Two future first round
Basic-
picks for number 16.
okay, so right now everybody's looking at the monitor at the draft, and it says the
For what
Oklahoma
it's
City.
worth, they're not pick that they own.
Oh.
So basically, we're gonna get an all Thunder first round sometime
at some
soon.
point, yeah.
1 through 30, all
Honestly.
Oklahoma City. They're gonna build their team that
Amazing.
way. So basically, this pick right here is gonna be for the Houston Rockets. So it says OKC. It's for the Houston Rockets. We're
Yep.
seeing that's
It
Sengun,
looks
right?
like it's Shingun, yeah.
Yeah, so we've seen Sengun on the screen. Houston can go a lot of different ways here. And again, I'm not talking great about the Rockets. I'm not a Rockets fan. But on paper, the team is starting to gel very nicely. It's starting to shape up very nicely. When you've got a Porter, you just went out and got a Jalen Green. You got your scoring there. You've got Christian Woods. You may be another 2 pieces away. That piece could be coming
They
right
also
here.
have Victor Oladipo.
Oladipo's a free agent, isn't he? I believe
Oh,
he
he will
is.
be. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's
He
a
will
free
be.
agent.
He's a free agent. Come to the Spurs. I don't know why. Let's come to the Spurs. Why not?
Why not?
I don't know why, but let's just get
Why
another
not?
shooting guard. Why not?
Just get somebody,
Yeah,
anybody.
let's Primo and Oladipo. That sounds really good right there. I would have preferred the Johnson and Johnson gimmick that I was trying to get for San Antonio. You know, no more tears. We'll be back in the playoffs. But hey, shout out to Dakota Mitchell. I need that shirt. They end up getting a Johnson, but the OKC/Houston Rockets picking it is Alperen Sengun, center out of Turkey. They've got Christian Woods. I guess this
Wow.
means that they're going to move Woods a little bit. Maybe you have a Twin Towers type setup there, Ben. What are you thinking on this Rockets pick? Because I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think I think you're right. Don't start becoming a Rockets fan on us though.
No, I'm not. I don't own any Olajuwon jerseys. Well, after tonight, I won't own any more Olajuwon jerseys.
Nice. And now Şengün, yeah, it's a good pick. Şengün is a great pick for the Rockets. There, he's probably a guy you can play alongside Christian Wood. He's Şengün listed at 6'9", might be 6'10". He has probably more post game than Christian Wood does, but Christian Wood better shooter right now, so they could have a real inside outside
Mhm.
combo right there, which it could absolutely work. So kudos to you, Rockets. You gave up 2 future first round picks that weren't yours to get to 16. And now we can all be upset that OKC has a stupid amount of picks in the next like 5 to
Yes.
7 years.
They have
Unbelievable.
17 future first round picks starting in 2022.
Wow. That's all I can say
17.
is wow.
First round.
Yeah, we also got the Pelicans on the clock right now.
But this would be the Memphis pick, right?
I believe so.
So
Via the trade.
Yeah, it should be, or it says from Memphis, but I gotta get that. I gotta get that trade, bro.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Now they updated. Now it says
Okay, so
Memphis on the clock.
Memphis on the clock. Okay, so going back to Sengun, I mean, it's not a Samson Olajuwon type match, made in heaven there, but it does give them a very nice front court when you got Sengun and you've got Woods as well. Woods being the better shooter, you can probably spot him up on the outside a little bit. Sengun can control the middle. What really separates Sengun from everyone else is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not calling him this guy. I'm not comparing him to this guy, but his basketball IQ reminds me somewhat of Arvydas Sabonis. I mean, he is a passer. He can make the pass when need to be.
Yep.
He's a very smart, high IQ basketball player. Good, beneficial pick for the Rockets. Josh, I know you don't want to talk about the Rockets because you're still upset about Primo, but I'm gonna buy you a chocolate milk at the end of the night to hopefully make your night better
Chocolate milk.
for drafting.
think I'm like
Josh
11
Primo.
years
Chocolate milk always worked in the past. How do you feel on this Rockets pick going with Şengün here?
Great pick. Shingun was on my radar pretty early on for the Spurs. Just what he's so dynamic on offense. Can do a little of everything. I like the pick for them. It is. I like how I believe Ben mentioned how Christian Wood has a nice outside jumper. Sengun can be more of an interior player. He just need to work on his jumper a bit. But I mean, I like it for them. I don't like OKC getting even more picks. And I don't like that the Rockets are getting much better. But, I mean, it's a great pick for them. I'm still kind of confused as to why Şengün was still on the board at that point.
Exactly. We've got some more comments in here. We've got Spurs 21209, I believe, says this is embarrassing with the face palm 3 times.
Oh boy.
Joe, can you do me a favor? Can you read that top comment and who's it from? It starts with look.
It's Agrico Suave joining us from Facebook. He says, "Look, I don't think the kid sucks. He's obviously a future pick, a future pick. Like after Becky retires, kind of pick, but we need more big help. Unless there is a mystical plan in the works we don't know about."
That's what we're all hoping for at this point.
Yeah, you also have one that says it starts with all of my complaining aside. It's live or live?
Oh, live Braitham. It says, "All of my complaining aside, you guys are doing an amazing job of covering the draft. Thank you for your coverage." Thank you, guys. I said you all are doing a great job.
No. I was reading the first part. I didn't read the whole thing, but I get this feeling that we're the best thing to happen to San Antonio right now because that pick kind of flopped. No disrespect to anybody. No disrespect to anybody at all. But I think we're doing pretty good here. Thank you, everybody, for joining in on us. Again, this is the 2021 NBA draft coverage powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. Spurs did end up getting Joshua Primo again. We don't know if he's going to stay a Spur yet until the end of the night, or actually until the season starts. But he is a Spur right now. Welcome to Josh Primo to San Antonio. It should be Joshua. I don't want to get confused with.
It looks like the Memphis pick is in, so we're just going to be waiting on Adam Silver to hit the podium.
Adam Silver doing his best Greg Oden impression and taking his time getting to the podium with those bad knees or something. But we are going to pick number 17 out of 30, so we are technically almost done here. We don't want to leave. I know I don't want to leave at all.
What do you say we get to the Keldon Team USA shirt? That's this hour. We have 9 minutes left, so
all right. You know what?
Maybe to cheer someone up here a little bit.
Forget it. You know what, guys? We're giving away the Keldon Johnson Custom USA shirt. Josh, take it away.
All right, so I believe, Ben, I don't think you're eligible as of now. I believe Joe is going to bring up what we're giving away. This is for Keldon, who is on Team USA right now. This is our
USA.
Team USA. So this is from Dakota Mitchell. This is a one of a kind because you can kind of see there is a Project Spurs patch on the sleeve, which won't be on any other edition. So this is kind of like an NFT. All right, so let me get to, but it's physical. You will actually get it, so don't worry about that.
So it's fun. It's a fungible token.
It is fungible, yeah. So it's just an FT.
We're gonna put the back of the jersey up here too, so everybody can see it.
There you
Make
go.
it a little bit bigger there.
We're basically just sending them a PDF file of a shirt.
yeah. We're just gonna. That's all it is.
A PNG of the shirt. This is all you're getting.
All we can afford is a picture.
We can't even give you a JPEG. Sorry, guys.
All right, so stay tuned for the 9 o'clock hour. We're gonna be having the draft shirt. As of now, it's gonna be Primo on the back of the shirt, and then we'll also do the other $15 Spurs fan, and that's gonna be.
Isn't that the exclusive unveiling? A new design.
Yeah. Yes, and that's also gonna have a Project Spurs logo on it.
Good stuff.
So that we're going to be choosing from the chat, people that have been interacting with us, thank you, and we're going to be choosing you guys toward the end of the draft. But for now, I did a drawing for everybody that retweeted our original live stream, and the winner of this Keldon shirt is at... Are you purring?
I'm trying to do a drum roll. There you
Joe
go.
Garcia giving us
trying to do it better.
Mustafa
Well, nobody's giving me
Are you a cat?
purring. I'm purring. They're not petting me or nothing. So
it is at J_Huber. He retweeted this. He follows us. I will be DMing you soon for that.
Nice.
To get your info to send that Keldon jersey shirt. So congratulations.
Lucky
and
man,
thanks for
Jay
supporting.
Huber, or
Yes.
woman. I don't know who you are.
Jay Huber, congratulations on that Keldon Johnson Custom USA shirt. It says on the back.
Yeah. Maybe we can trade Joshua Primo for a shirt from Dakota.
All right. Too soon.
Too soon. But you know what's not too soon is the latest pick from the draft. Memphis Grizzlies making that pick at number 17. They are getting Trey Murphy III out of Virginia. I am definitely not against this pick at all. I love this pick. I love this kid, Trey Murphy. Saw him play a lot in the ACC. 3-and-D type forward guy. I mean, he's got an excellent physical profile when it comes to being NBA ready. And for being a forward at about 6'8", 6'9", he's going to come in and he's going to really, really do some damage for the Grizzlies. Ben, give us some insight on Trey Murphy here.
Absolutely. He's a good shooter, especially at his size, 6'9", like you said. He's going to be a smart player. He played for Tony Bennett at Virginia. He always turns out smart players, and you kind of have to be smart to get in there, so that makes sense. But he's definitely a guy who's improved every year he's played basketball at the collegiate level, and I think he's only going to continue to make strides like that at the NBA level. So Memphis doing a good job with a lot of these picks tonight. I got to give him props, but also I hate you. That's pretty much going to be me all night. Hey, nice pick. I hate you.
We got OKC on the clock right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up some comments so you can see what's happening in the chat.
Awesome. Josh, you want to help me read some of these here for sure?
Sure. There's still more hate on Perkins, which I enjoy.
Great. I was going to ask if there was Perkins slander.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to assume there always is. Chase Reynolds, someone said Primo would be a projected lottery pick next year if he returned to college. Can he just go back, please?
Man, I mean, that's a good point because a lot of these guys in the draft would have been lottery picks in other years. I mean, we're talking this draft had potentially, 4 guys that could have been number 1 in any other draft. Yeah. I mean, that's how deep this draft is. Let's see, who else we got? Chris Galler, I'll love that JPEG to the end of time. So apparently Chris wants the JPEG of the Keldon shirt.
Let's go.
So we have a very humble guy asking for the JPEG. So let me see. Maybe we can send you the JPEG image of the shirt. Maybe we'll have Dakota autograph it or something.
I do like that one comment on the top. Spurs fan,
yeah.
just a Spurs fan watching on YouTube. Must change Primo's name to Orale Primo.
That is true, man.
That's the reaction everybody had.
By the way, just a reminder, the Trey Murphy pick, he's going to the Pels.
Yeah.
Not Memphis. That was part of their trade. So
okay, so that's the swap. But you know what?
Yes. So
even going to New Orleans.
Zion Williamson some help.
Ooh, that is going to be some major help for Zion Williamson. I really like that pick right there. That's a bonus pick for the New Orleans Pelicans right there because, yes, you're right. It should be going to New Orleans, making OKC back on the clock. This is one of 4 million first-round picks that a former Spur exec, Sam Presti, has been able to do for Oklahoma City. I don't like my team. Give me a first-round pick, and you can have whoever you want. That is the motto in Oklahoma City. Basically, these guys are going to be drafting in the first round until the end of time, it seems like it. I mean, they're getting multiple first-round picks. They're back onto the first round over here. They went with the Josh Giddey. You still have a Kai Jones out there. You still have a Jalen Johnson out there. They don't exactly have the greatest big men in the world in OKC. Josh Giddey's a hell of a passer. Lobs to Kai Jones are going to look very sexy if that happens, Josh.
I'm surprised.
Are you giddy?
You need to stop with that.
He'll be here all night. He'll be here all night.
Unfortunately, I'm here all night.
I'm surprised Kai is still up there, honestly.
Well, people had him dropping to 21.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the world was laughing at NBA. Was it NBA TV that said Kai Jones at 21?
Yeah.
It's starting to take form.
They finally got one right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be some fun times in Memphis if they go with the Kai Jones here. But who knows? I mean, they could trade this pick too and grab another couple of picks for the next few years. It's very possible. There's still a lot of guys out there. I mean, you still have a Keon Johnson that's out there. Like we said, Kai Jones. Isaiah Jackson is another one. I don't see a guy like a Cameron Thomas going here or even a Jared Butler going here. Sharif Cooper, not so much. One name, Ben, that we can maybe add to the mix here is Usman Garuba out of Spain. That guy could make some sense here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. How do you feel if they took a Garuba right here?
Whew, I don't think I'd hate that. That could be real nice for them. They could use a good defender, especially as a big or a guy who can really guard multiple positions. That would be a pretty good pick if you ask me. And the way OKC has been trending, I mean, they'll they are not opposed to taking swings on guys, and you shouldn't be when you have as many picks as they do. I mean, shoot. Oh, we saw a guy this year. No big deal. We're going to end to getting 3 more guys next year. Who cares? You know?
True that. True
We got
that.
something breaking real quick.
All right, let's shoot it. Let's go for it.
The Knicks are trading the 19th pick to Charlotte for a future first-round pick, according to Woj. So
Wow.
another
Hold
pick
on.
for
We
Charlotte.
we're still waiting on pick 18 to get in. Gosh, come on, Adam Silver, get it together. Can't even take the silver in a fast walking contest. Ugh.
Yeah, so Charlotte's getting another pick. New York doing something here, trading to get 19. So
Well, they're getting a future first rounder out of it. So
yeah, they're
Okay.
trading their 19th. Yeah.
I think
So-
OKC's going to make a pretty solid pick here. I'm hoping anyway.
I mean, I don't think it would be. I want to say it might be Garuba, but maybe not. Who knows? I mean, you're looking at Charlotte. They added Book Night at the beginning of the draft, so maybe again, Jalen Johnson, Kai Jones, and Charlotte. I mean, wouldn't be bad. You would. I mean, you've got Mason Plumlee there. It makes sense to get an athletic big down there with LaMelo.
Yeah.
So OKC is going with Trey Mann, guard out of Florida. Ben, you are a Florida man. You are a definite Florida man. I've seen the picture. You and the old ball coach are taking that picture.
It is
Steve
time.
Spurrier. This is your time to
It
shine,
is
buddy.
time.
This is your time to shine. Trey Mann, 6'5" guard out of Florida, 190 pounds. He's a point guard that can shoot and get buckets. Give us the insight on Trey Mann.
My dude, Trey Mann. So much fun to watch this last season. He was fantastic. He actually grew a couple inches, which is the even crazier part. He was like 6'2" or 6'3" when he got to Florida. Now he's 6'5", so he's grown. And he's a guy who plays the pick and roll extremely well. He had a really good 7-footer playing with him, which helped in Colin Castleton. It had good ends, so Trey Mann pretty much hit him anywhere. It wasn't an issue. Best part about Trey Mann's game is he's got some real good wiggle to him. He's got a really good step back out at the 3-point line, and he's just kind of smooth. It's nice. I just like him. I think he's going to be really nice for OKC. He's going to have a chance to learn behind guys like maybe Kemba Walker if he ends up staying there. You have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who learned from Chris Paul, so you kind of have a Chris Paul coaching tree, as it were. And so that's never a bad tree to be a part of. So I think the pedigree will show up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and it brings up the point because now you've got Giddey, you've got Trey Mann. Maybe Kemba is expendable. Maybe they have a deal in place. Or what I've kind of been seeing the past few weeks, SGA might be on the move because his name's been coming up as potential trades. So, I mean, but if you keep an SGA, that's a nice little 3-headed backcourt. SGA, Trey Mann, and Giddey for the future. I think that'd be a nice little team to see there. I believe, truly.
We
Josh?
got the New York Knicks on the clock, and put the comments up there as well
Okay.
for you guys.
We had Jonah. Y'all are on top of your game, but every time you announce a trade, I get excited. The Spurs are involved. So I think you can tell. Like if I'm super excited whenever I say it, then that's probably going to be the case. But these are all just kind of minor things that are happening. I'm kind of hoping to throw a Josh bomb out there at some point. But so far it's just been kind of swapping picks and getting, of course, at OKC some more future picks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, they're talking about the Knicks trading 19 to Hornets for future first.
So somebody says Cowboy. Is it Cowboys or?
Oh, Cowboy season 1. I'm done being a
I'm
Spurs
done being
fan,
a
to be
Spurs
honest.
fan, to be honest. Wow.
You know what? My nephew, he lives in Maryland, big Spurs fan,
Okay.
just texted me when the Spurs made that selection. He's like, "Who is this guy? We drafted who?"
I got 15 text messages when they drafted Joshua Primo. Majority of them were asking if he's going to be the spokesman, the mascot for Fiesta time because Primo being his last name ties into anything and everything San
H-E-B
Antonio.
Primo
We're
pick.
forgetting the Primo pick.
And
Oh, he's going to be in the
then-
commercials.
I got a text message
That's the only
asking, did HEB submit the pick for the Spurs? Because this guy is marketing gold for the Primo pick.
Someone on the board.
I was born for this. I was born for
exactly.
this.
Again, and I commented like, obviously that's not true. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But the very next text message I got was, the Spurs are really trying to get HEB to sponsor the arena
Oh
and
my
all this
God.
stuff. So
that would be so ridiculous.
we'll go ahead and get you a primo pick for HEB sponsor. And
But
primo
what if it's
spot.
not even
Oh,
HEB?
man,
What
too
if it's like
easy.
the off-brand Hill Country Fair Arena?
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
Well, if you're looking at fans' reactions, it almost is like a Hill Country Fair pick. But
yeah.
again, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's being thought of behind the doors, anything like that. Let's see. We've got Chase Reynolds. OKC is going to be selling guards wholesale soon. Probably so. That is definitely Sue. Chris Galler Johnson to Atlanta per Woj. So maybe so. Maybe we're seeing
let
Atlanta
me take a
Johnson.
look here.
I don't know. I mean, that's
Oh
just
yeah,
a
I
question
think
mark.
they're looking ahead.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's picks, future picks. I mean, we haven't gotten to there on ESPN because they're
Yeah,
super
the-
behind.
the
talking
Knicks
to
just
them.
got their
The Knicks
pick.
pick is in.
Okay,
They're
can
busy
we
talking to
get the
Richard
comments up
Jefferson.
real quick again?
Yeah, sure.
Real quick before they get to the next pick. I want to read this comment real quick. It's actually from Greco Suave.
Greco
Okay,
Suave.
question.
Of
So
course.
far, how has this draft affected free agency for San Antonio? That is a really good question. I think we're going to get into that after we get this New York Knicks pick in. Give the guys a little bit of time to think on that, because this draft hasn't really had so much of an effect on the Spurs free agency,
No.
other than the fact that before the draft, with some of the moves being made, it almost clears the path, a yellow brick road per se, for a John Collins signing in San Antonio. Pretty much Dallas kind of killed their hopes with the whole Tim Hardaway thing.
Right.
So you've got the Lakers, I mean, with making moves to the Washington Wizards. Collins wasn't going either one of those places. I mean, what other teams was Collins tied to? There's a few of them out there, but it seems like those teams won't have the cap
Right.
space that the Spurs do. So it's almost like, how does this draft affect it? Not so much the draft, but the move before the draft is what really is helping, and that's the Tim Hardaway move.
Yeah.
That Dallas was probably the one place I was scared to watch him go.
Right.
So if anything, this kind of helps Collins maybe come to San Antonio just that much more reliable. Like,
This one
Yeah,
hurts,
The pick
fellas.
is in. It does hurt, man. I agree with you.
oh no.
Remember, this pick is going to Charlotte.
Okay, so this pick is going to Charlotte. Pick is in. Kai Jones. We did talk about that. Going to Charlotte.
Yeah.
A beautiful bubblegum suit. Oh my gosh.
Are we going with Bubble Yum or is that Big League Chew?
It doesn't matter. It's not going to be in San Antonio.
yeah.
Well, I guess so. Well, we're going with
Bubblicious.
Kai Jones here, obviously drafted by the Knicks, but this is going to be going to Charlotte. 6'10", 218-pound forward out of Texas. Just a lot of energy this kid has. I mean, he can jump out the building. He's going to bring a lot of excitement to Charlotte. Can you guys imagine, and I asked Josh this before this pick was made, imagine those fast breaks with LaMelo and Kai running them. Whew, this is going to be fun. Charlotte looking to be contenders, not for titles, but continuous playoff contenders here very, very soon. Ben, I hear the sigh in your voice. Give us the info on Kai Jones and how he's going to have an impact on the Charlotte Hornets.
Kai Jones is a good player. He's a young player. He still has to learn a lot about basketball. I think his IQ isn't there yet, but he's a big athletic who's starting to be able to shoot it well, and he can play D. Like you said, he's a pogo stick. He'll jump out of the gym. And he was a guy that a lot of people wanted the Spurs to take at 12, and that might have been a reach, but people figured at 12 that's the kind of home run swing you take. And so now we're here. He gets to go to Charlotte and play with LaMelo Ball, who is the Rookie of the Year. You know, electric, exciting player. The Spurs don't keep him in state. It's a tough watch.
Is Charlotte going to be your Eastern Conference team now?
No, please. It's still the tragic.
Oh, and you know that's not even a word you can use anymore with Orlando. They're getting good. They're getting good.
We'll see how good they are, but I mean they were the tragic for a long time.
Yeah.
Blame Shaq. blame Shaq for that.
No. Blame that front office. They've had like 3 or 4 different front offices since Dwight Howard left.
Yeah, that is true. True to the fact. Kai Jones in Charlotte, Josh. That LaMelo ball and that Kai Jones fast break is definitely something that is going to be an eyesight for everyone in Charlotte. I am already predicting season tickets are going to be sold way more this season for Charlotte Hornets. How are you feeling about Kai Jones there?
I mean, he would have been a plug and play, finisher for just about everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, any type of lob threat in the open court, just excitement, athleticism. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. He's a steal at this point of the draft.
Yeah, Atlanta's on the clock right now. They got under a minute and 40 to go. And I did put the comments back up so y'all can check those out.
So Greco Suave did ask that question about how this affects the Spurs, and we did answer somewhat how it doesn't really affect it so much. It kind of clears the path for John Collins to basically get all the money in the world from San Antonio. It does make a lot more sense for him. Guys that you can also keep in mind for free agency when it comes to San Antonio, I throw this name out there, but people don't like him. I do. I mean, you've got a Lauri Markkanen out there. He's a stretch 4. He can obviously shoot the ball. You need a shooter. I don't think Miami's going to be able to get Duncan Robinson back. Duncan Robinson's another guy you can throw some money at. You're looking at potentially able to sign a max guy, maybe 2 possibly, depending on who it is. I mean, so if you go out into free agency and get a Duncan Robinson and a John Collins, or a Markkanen and a John Collins, or even a Markkanen and a Robinson, you pretty much have you've basically filled those voids that you need right there. You're either going to get a big man or you're going to get a shooter. I mean, that's kind of what it sits at pretty much everything in the free agency.
Yeah, but how are they going to tie Markkanen into HEB? That's what we need to worry about, I think.
Well, you can do the HEB marketplace, the Markkanen place.
Wow,
HEB, I will quit my job to work for you if you give me that kind of.
We don't
that
market
kind of
in your prices up.
We won't be marketing your prices
I
up.
like that.
Well,
I
there
like
you
that.
go.
Boom.
I think secretly Rudy wants to go and work for the only Chinese market that's still inside the HEB,
McAllen.
the Chinese food court that they have there.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best Asian food they have.
I will literally give up me being healthy if they brought HEB Chinese market back.
Yeah,
The
I believe
Chinese
you
food.
would go and you just indulge in a big old plate, dude.
Oh, no.
A big old plate. I would park my booty down on the ground there and just continue to mostly just buy all the food there. There was nothing bad about HEB Marketplace, and HEB is not a sponsor, so I can't really talk
Protect
about
Rudy's
them
at all
too much.
costs.
Right. Looks like the pick is in for the Hawks.
So we've got the Hawks in here. We got comments as well. Michael DeLeon and Bridges is what he's saying. I think he's according to the Charlotte Hornets there. Let's see. Chase Reynolds is saying, don't do that. Don't give me hope. We're here to give everybody hope. We're here to give everybody hope. And the hope is the Hawks
It's
are
the
picking
only
here.
way we're not going to cry ourselves on this live show.
Exactly. One guy, before we get to the Hawks pick, one guy the Hawks have been shopping around. Spurs ties, anybody here real quick? Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. I mean, they don't really seem to need to get anything big back in return for Cam Reddish. So that could be another name that might be inquiring. Again, sign and trade. That's what I'm saying.
And if they get rid of Cam Reddish, that probably gives them just enough to keep John Collins from other teams.
Exactly. So that's a name to keep an eye on. Is the whole or
And I think that was a guy the Spurs liked in his draft as well.
yeah, they did. They really did. And they also liked Kuzma, but he's on his way to Washington, so we all know how that is. Adam Silver working his way up to the podium right now. The pick is in for the Atlanta Hawks. Let's see what Adam Silver can come up with right now. And it's Jalen Johnson.
The troublemaker himself.
As Josh is calling it, the troublemaker himself. Jalen Johnson, 6'9", 220 pounds, out of Duke. It kills me to say that name, but he is out of Duke. Two-way combo forward. That guy has, I guess I want to say unlimited potential, but I'm not trying to be really, big on him right now. But he's got a ton of potential. He's got to get that mind working perfectly. Will he be able to make it in Atlanta, Ben? That's the question that I've got for the Hawks. You're taking a big chance. It's a high reward, but a high risk pick here. But him in Atlanta, if he pans out, wow, that is a very good setup for them.
If he pans out, that is absolutely huge for them. I might also look at that as they're drafting John Collins' replacement. Maybe they know he's gone this offseason because they're not going to be able to match an offer, and they're trying to replace him now.
Well, there's no better guy to replace him with than a Jalen Johnson.
And he's going to be able to. He probably won't get too many minutes because he's still got to sit behind DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, but he will have an opportunity to learn, and he'll get to compete against those guys in practice every day. So I think that will go a long way as well.
Yeah, for sure. So going on with Ben's point, Josh, he did make the point and the not the assumption, but the idea that this could be a pick to replace a John Collins. So does that path get a little bit clearer? Is that yellow brick road? Are we finally getting to the Emerald City and see John Collins at the end?
I mean, we can all hope. It's just hard to be to rely on that this is what's happening with this front office. We have to see actual movement. We need to see something before we're hopeful. It is a good sign that they got a big, and it's a good sign that Dallas is probably out of the running, and it's maybe closer to a 2-man race now. But there hasn't been any rumbling about him having interest in San Antonio, but they can offer him a lot. And so I really just want to see something. And I mean, it does clear the path, but I'm not going to sit here and say, it's probably likely now, because we don't really know what's in Collins' head as far as what he wants to do in the future. I mean,
you're right. And I mean, there's a guy that I like out there that he's not John Collins, but I mean, a Jared Allen is going to be there. So, I mean, if you can get a Jared Allen, definitely is an upgrade over a Jakob Poeltl. I mean, makes pretty good sense to be with the Spurs. I do like a Jared Allen for sure. Let's see. Jonah's in here. DraftKings is about to drop the sponsorship. HEB is getting more airtime. No, DraftKings is not. And let me tell you why DraftKings is not about to drop being a sponsor for the 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs and sponsored by DraftKings. Why is it sponsored by DraftKings? Because, hey, the Olympic Games are underway, and DraftKings is bringing you to the podium. Like I said, you can win a gold medal with DraftKings. What is the gold medal? $50,000 in total cash prizes. All you have to do is download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use the promo code TBPN when you can sign up to get your free shot at up to $50,000 in total cash prizes every day the games are being played in Tokyo. Head to DraftKings Pools page to get your shot at huge cash prizes. Use the promo code TBPN for a limited time only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for full details. Guys, you don't want to miss out on that opportunity to watch the Olympics, predict the Olympics, answer the questions. Just go to DraftKings, enter that code TBPN, get your picks in, answer the questions. You could win up to $50,000 in total cash prizes. That is why HEB is not going to be the sponsor of the 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs. What other comments do we have in here?
Oh, I wanted to read one real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
This is actually not from the stream, but I keep forgetting to bring this up. So Paul Garcia, he joined us earlier on the he was here briefly, but then he was going to be part of the presser after, that usually comes to the picks, after the picks. So he actually sent us something that said the Spurs can't even hold a presser with him because he wasn't expected to be drafted so early. So other players after him have already had their pressers.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, that's the kind of thing we're dealing with is he was not expected
Nobody
to be.
was prepared for that.
Yeah, they're like, wait, this guy? So, yeah,
they're like,
that's
who's
the thing.
this guy?
So he didn't really need to jump off that quickly, I guess, because of that. But, I mean, we'll be hearing more from him. I'm sure he's going to do a write-up soon on Project Spurs about. And I'll have some thoughts around on Twitter and stuff, I'm sure.
We'll probably do. That might be a good roundtable discussion with all of us and the staff to kind of share our thoughts on that. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something that we're going to have to get on. But, the Primo pick, if he's not available for a presser, does that mean that he's going to actually stay? I mean, could it mean that he's going to actually stay a Spur? I mean, normally if you're drafted, you're able to talk to the, you're able to talk to somebody in the front office.
Yeah.
You're able to talk to the player, somebody like that.
Maybe they're working on a trade, Rudy, behind the scenes, and that's why they haven't had the pressure yet, you know?
It could be. It could be. We actually have something that came out on Twitter. I'm going to pass it over to Josh that I saw. I'm going to let Josh here.
We're going to get a Josh bomb.
We're getting
It's a Paul bomb.
A Paredes pipe bomb is what we're going to call it. So,
oh, man.
Paredes pipe bomb coming up, guys. What do we got, Josh?
All right,
Hashtag that.
yes. Yeah, get that trending, guys. Paul Garcia, I guess he saw this on the actual broadcast. So this is Woj on Collins and the Hawks. I think there's a lot of optimism with Atlanta and John Collins that they can get a deal done at the start of free agency and build on that success that they had reaching the Eastern Conference Finals this season. So not what you want to hear. That was apparently probably on the broadcast because I don't think he tweeted that. Yeah, there it is, Rudy.
Looks like apparently we got the pick is in for the New York Knicks. We're waiting for one Mr. Adam Silver to get to the podium.
And it looks like it will not
we
be
go.
for the Knicks.
Okay.
Yes, I believe there was a trade recently. I'm trying to catch up here. There's so much going on.
The Knicks have now traded away their 19 and their 21.
Okay, so we're seeing that the Knicks are picking, and the pick was Keon Johnson. It's not going to be for the Knicks. Obviously, that pick is going to be traded
to the Clippers.
to the Los Angeles Clippers. Wow.
And now the Knicks will pick again at 25.
Yes, unless they trade that one too.
Exactly. So with
Of course.
with Clipperland, you're getting a 6'5", 186-pound guard, and you're talking about a two-way player. I liked Keon Johnson a lot. I mean, great defender, can score. He's very versatile, pretty explosive. He's very. I'm gonna get with Ben on this for sure. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the things I was reading on him and actually saw of him, he's got a very explosive first step when it comes to him. But for Clipperland, I mean, you're talking about a guy like Reggie Jackson there? Potentially, he could be that replacement for Reggie Jackson if Reggie Jackson doesn't stay. We are hearing that Kawhi is going to end up staying in Clipperland. Paul George obviously be there. Keon Johnson adding some really good depth to the LA Clippers. No, I'm not a Clipper fan, so don't comment on me about that. I'm not a Clipper fan. I am a straight-up Spurs fan. And
Rudy's
now
actually everyone's fan now.
I'm a fan of everyone. Green talks, money talks. So pay me and I'll be a fan of whatever. It doesn't matter.
Nice.
Keon Johnson going to the Clippers. Ben, give us some insight on Keon because I think this is actually a really good fit, and I'm surprised he dropped this far.
Yes, it's funny. A lot of people so he was starting to trend up really high in later mock drafts, but his offensive game really is not there right now. He's strong, he's physical, his defense is way ahead of his offense, but he's just not a good shooter, and I don't think that he's as good a ball handler as people believe. But at 21, going to the Clippers, a fantastic pick. A guy, it's probably still, it's not the opposite of a reach. They probably got a little bit of a sleeper there, to be honest. And if you're watching, even on mute, if you're watching the ESPN broadcast, he was the Mike Schmidt's best available. He was the number one guy for several picks, if not a double-digit amount of picks. So he definitely fell, but I think he's going to be all right with the Clippers. Like you said, they might need some point guard help, so he can give it to him.
Yeah, and not only the point guard help, I'm sorry, Joe, not only the point guard help, real quick before I go to Joe and Josh here, it kind of makes sense because of his defensive versatility and how good and aggressive of a defensive player he is. That lightens up the load on Kawhi and Paul George as well. So it kind of takes them off of, maybe one of the better offensive players on the other team. Mm-hmm. But you don't lose that spell. If he comes in for a Kawhi or a Paul George, you still have that defensive presence guy on the court. So I say bravo to the pick on the Clippers. This actually makes more benefits for them than anything else that I could imagine here.
Yeah, I was just going to read a quick comment off of YouTube. Chase Reynolds watching us on YouTube. Thank you for watching. He says, Keon had the best vertical in the history of the combine, if I heard correctly earlier.
Yeah, there was that.
48 inches, max vert.
Exactly. John D is Clipper Rudy Campos, baby. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be joining the LA Clippers here pretty soon, which is fine by me. Hey, hit me up. I am a 5'8" chubby point guard. I can run.
What are you going to get for your agent? You're going to get Uncle?
No. Unfortunately, a family member would probably have to be my agent. Josh, talking about. Oh, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
That made me think because Primo is cousin in Spanish. So I mean, we had nephew, we had Kawhi, and now we got Primo over here. Like, I don't know who's going to be the second round guy. It's going to be some kind of familial relationship or something.
Do we happen to have a Juan Gordito in the draft this year? Because that would definitely be number 2. That would definitely be the second round pick. Call him Gordo. Well, we have a Bones. I know that. One of the nicknames is Bones here.
They're going to take H.E.
So
Buddy.
the LA Lakers pick is in right now. And, well.
A reminder, this LA Lakers pick is going to the Wizards. But actually, the Wizards are now trading this pick.
Okay, so we're seeing Isaiah Jackson
all kinds of
being drafted by the Lakers, gonna pack his bags for Wizardland, but then don't get off the plane because he's going to be
to the Pacers. Yeah.
Going to the Pacers.
He's being traded to Indiana.
Okay, so knowing that he's going to Indiana here, there was a lot of question regarding Miles Turner.
Yeah.
So again, another thing: do we maybe see Miles Turner being moved? Isaiah Jackson filling the void because you have Sabonis.
Yeah.
So a Jackson Sabonis type front court would be nice. What makes for Isaiah Jackson, Ben, going to Indiana? How much sense does it make for them? And does Miles Turner have anything to worry about?
I don't think Miles Turner has anything to worry about. Isaiah Jackson is a bit of a project right now. He's got to put on a lot more weight. He's also got to refine his offensive game. He is a pure defensive stopper right now. He's a guy who can protect the rim for you. So, if you need to pair him with Miles Turner to help on the defensive end, I think that could work out really well. So I wouldn't say that Miles Turner should be any sort of worried about this kind of pick/trade.
Okay.
And
I see that.
by the way, sorry, Josh, I'm going to steal.
Go for it. Yeah,
I
saw
your
it too.
thunder here a little bit, but
it's just a little.
The Wizards are getting in return Aaron Holiday for that trade.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of the trade as well there. Josh, what do you got as far as Isaiah Jackson or any other news coming out from NBA land? Because I want you to drop more of the Paredes pipe bombs. Hashtag Paredes pipe bombs. That needs to go
It's
viral.
a long hashtag.
That is, but you know what? Dakota Mitchell, I think he's got a shirt already in mind. It's probably going to be designed.
Like 5 shirts now. No other news really besides what he just dropped. There's just a lot of minor trades here that have been affecting these past few picks. Nothing else. I don't really have much on Isaiah Jackson. This is kind of the point where I'm like, I'm deferring to Ben.
You just want to basically give us the news and notes and all that. You might say that. Yeah. Give us some Twitter comments. I know there's got to be some Spurs Twitter comments out there.
I'll look for some here.
I put the comments up for you. And the Rockets are on the clock right now.
Rockets on the clock. So I see the top one. It's from Spurs fans. It says, Rudy, I'll get you a barbecue sponsor. Hit me up in my DMs. I could use a barbecue sponsor. Not just to eat, but I could use a sponsor in general, too, for barbecue. I'm sure it's great barbecue, whoever it may be. Hit me up on the DMs for sure. Let's see. We also got Spurs fan. Tired of Hendricks on my screen. Spurs pick. Save me. Okay. I'm going to say okay on that.
Kenny 10 says, Brian Wright, RC Pop, all need to be fired. I knew it was coming sooner or later, man.
We weren't gonna get through the draft show. We weren't gonna get through the draft show. Powered by Project Spurs and sponsored by DraftKings. We were not gonna get through the draft show without a fire Pop, fire RC, fire Brian. I already knew it. I knew that was coming. So let's see who else we got in the comments here. Chris Galler, don't hold that barbecue for just you. I will share my barbecue with everybody. Anybody wants barbecue, definitely sharing at it. But I'm definitely going to charge you a premium for good barbecue. So
Chase Reynolds says, leave Pop out of this. He is abroad. I mean, true, but I'm sure he had to have a hand in this. I'd still just kind of like, I don't know.
Are we okay? So
for news.
I mean, we're waiting on the pick from the Rockets here, but I mean, we are a primary Spurs coverage network, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to Primo, does it say anything to you? Because when I posed the question to Joe, does it say anything to you that you don't have a presser? I mean, normally you're able to talk to a front office guy about the pick. You can normally talk to Primo, or if he's available, or however. But not being able to talk to anybody, does that show maybe something that there is something in the works possibly? Because why isn't anybody available?
I mean, the way Paul put it was that he just wasn't expected, so maybe they just didn't have it prepped for him in some way. That I mean, I like the optimistic route that you're looking at. Like, maybe that could be the case, but as far as I know, it's just because nobody thought he was going to be going at 12.
But if you're the Spurs picking, and you know you're taking Primo,
Yeah.
you would have something available for the media. I mean, to me,
somebody
that's-
did bring up that. Let me look at the actual San Antonio Spurs. Maybe somebody can comment if they've, they usually do a welcome to San Antonio.
Exactly.
Somebody brought it up earlier that they hadn't done it, but that it's been a while since that. So let me actually look. Oh, they did. Oh, yeah. They just said with the 12th pick they select. Okay, so they did do this. Maybe they just didn't have like the welcome to San Antonio thing, but yeah.
Do we? I gotta know, Joe, since you're the man behind the glass. Is Ben Bornstein still with us, or has he just given up on us because of what the Spurs did at 12?
I don't know. I think he's still there. I think he needed a minute. He needed a minute.
Yeah, I needed.
We
I
go to
need-
his
I need
screen
to
and he's
do my
just
breathing
in the
exercises.
corner.
I thought he was taking a little swig of whiskey or something.
Well, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. We're all gonna be drinking by the end of this night for sure, as we try to, wrap our heads around the pick that is Joshua Primo.
Yeah, where's the tequila? Where's the tequila, Joe?
Tequila. We also
Push it
have
out.
we'll have some prizes given away here in a little bit. We'll get with Josh here in a minute. The pick is in for. Okay, so this is Houston, but you guys said it was for Washington, I believe. Are we correct on that?
Who knows
No,
at this
this one
point?
is still Houston.
This is still,
Still Houston.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still Houston. Earlier, the
I
Rockets.
think they have back-to-back picks right now.
They do.
Yes.
They do. They got Jalen Green and also Sengun was also the other pick, which was 16 from OKC.
Yeah, you just watch the pick. You guys
yeah.
you might lose it after this pick.
I lose it probably, but the
I
Houston
have a
Rockets have
feeling I know.
decided to draft Usman Garuba,
Yeah.
forward out of Spain.
Oh my
Now,
God,
Garuba
Houston.
is a defensive presence.
Imagine if
So-
they could have combined him and Şengün just into one player. Oh,
You
incredible.
probably have the number one pick in the draft. Above
yeah,
Cade Cunningham.
well, you're right. That would be the number one pick in the draft.
Cade Cunningham would definitely have gone number 2. There's no way. I mean, if you combine Garuba and Shapoon, that's the number one pick. But Ben, with Houston grabbing Garuba right here, they're just loading up on that front court.
Yep, they've decided we're going to give Christian some help. He's not going to be our only option, and we're going to try and make it a place where guards want to come and play, and they don't have to worry about doing a whole lot other than creating for others and shooting the ball. And they're doing a darn fine job grabbing Garuba and Şengün.
Yeah.
They've got Christian Wood. I mean, they've got some nice things brewing in Houston. Granted, I don't know if they have the space for all these guys on their team right now, or they're probably gonna have to let some guys go who are on the roster. But I guess we are going to see how that unfolds in a few weeks as agents will get started soon. Summer League is going to be riding along.
We got the big boss man in here, Michael DeLeon, in the comments asking, "Can we borrow the Rockets GM? Wouldn't it be that hard? Wouldn't be that hard to drive back and forth?"
Yeah.
That is right, man. Houston's GM is. I mean,
Going to
we're all
work.
saying it. He's nailing it tonight.
Yep.
I mean, 3
Nice.
fantastic picks. He's got the 24th pick coming up, and we mentioned you still have got Christian Wood there. You've got Porter Jr. there. Houston's turning out to be a very good team for the future. Definitely. Chase Reynolds, death to small ball.
Yeah, the Rockets were famous for that whole style, and it seems like it's gone by the wayside now with these picks.
And then
Yeah.
PJ Tucker got his revenge tour.
Yeah, that was awesome. He beat one of every, I believe, in every round. Chris
He beat a
Paul.
former teammate
Harden.
in every round. It was incredible.
It's like a movie, man.
Can we potentially see the Spurs coming back into the first round? At the end of the first round?
Yeah,
Well,
Ralph. Somebody said they
Might
need
be able to
trade.
buy a pick.
Possibly.
I don't know if it's worth giving something up, but you could maybe buy a pick and say maybe we'll overpay for a late first rounder.
Is there a guy out there, Ben, that would be worth going back into the first round for right now? I mean, I really don't see anybody worth going in. I mean, if you're looking for a big, all you have is Day'Ron Sharp. that's really outside of I mean, Daron Sharp is really the only big you could possibly go for. I don't see them going for a Sharif Cooper or Cameron Thomas.
No, I mean, and frankly, you can get a Daron Sharp in the second round.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get him early in the second round. You don't really need to buy up and try and get back up into the first round to get him. I don't believe anyway. But there are going to be some good options in the second round.
You've got a ton of big guys in the second round. I mean, you're talking Luka Garza. You're talking Isaiah Livers. You're talking
Kessler Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards as well. Oh, Jericho Sims. I mean, he had an impressive workout. So, I mean, you've got a lot of guys there. And the one that really intrigues me the most is Luka Garza out of Iowa. I mean, I know he's really slow. I know he's, his footwork needs to be working on, but the kid can play. And if you need a low post present that can get you some buckets in the low post, he's also a good shooter. He's a pretty decent shooter, too. I like Luka Garza in the second round.
Yeah, Luka Garza is a good shooter. He's actually lost weight since the end of the season as well, so he's moving a little better, which is a good sign. I think someone to consider, I think Jericho Sims is borderline end of the draft, undrafted kind of guy, but I really like Charles Bassey and someone who I think has been popping up on the radar recently who's going to go JT Thor, I think would be great. I'm more and more sold on him as I read more about him.
Yeah, JT Thor would be a really good pick. And, a lot of mock drafts had him going in the first round towards the end, but a lot of them also had him in the second round as well, going early in the second round. So JT Thor is another one that you definitely want to keep an eye on. We've got some more comments in here.
Yeah, we have Chase Reynolds. He said, none of Josh's 2K simulation scenarios called for Primo. This is uncharted territory. So I did an article where
That's accurate.
Yeah, I went over a few different simulations just based off somebody on Twitter that suggested different ways we could go, trading up for Mobley, getting Simmons. I did not have Joshua Primo in my scenario, so I'm going to have to do that and see how they perform when I get home.
That's why we are all covering the draft and not running NBA teams, because we don't know what the hell we're doing, obviously. I can barely get it right on NBA 2K, so I try to make some trades, and I even have it where it's off. So it's like, I can get this guy. Nope, ain't going to happen. So, we're coming up towards the end of the first round here. We did see Usman Garuba go to the Houston Rockets for that last pick. Yeah. Houston is on the clock again at pick 24. We are with you for the first 30 picks of the draft, covering the entire first round of the draft. 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. $50,000 up for grabs. And the best part is it's all free. Just go to DraftKings.com, download the app on your phone, enter that code, the promo code TBPN, for your chance to win $50K in cash prizes. And it all has to do with the Olympics. Everything fun and games right now. Just go to that, get that DraftKings app, download it, type in the promo code TBPN, enter a chance to win $50,000 in cash prizes. All by DraftKings, official sponsor of tonight's 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs. Ben, so getting back to the Houston Rockets here, just throw out a name you think that could potentially go here. They've already had a great night. So what name would
they've
go
already
there?
got big, so I imagine they go for a guard. There's potential for a Cameron Thomas here. I'm trying to get that out as quickly as I can because Adam Silver's at the podium about to tell us who it is.
Oh, okay. So he's getting ready to say who it is. I'm going to say a Sharif Cooper. Maybe a Jared Butler right here.
Oh, Jared Butler wouldn't be a bad pick. I have a feeling that's not who they go with.
Maybe a guy in their backyard, Quentin Grimes.
That would also be a great pick. That would make a lot of sense for them, which is probably why they won't do it.
Well, they've been nailing it so far. So
the pick is in.
Well,
pick
I got
is
Josh
in.
Christopher.
Josh Christopher, shooting guard out of Arizona State, 6'5", 215 pounds. So with Josh Christopher, I didn't get to see him a lot at Arizona State. What do you got on Josh Christopher, Ben? I mean, he can obviously score the ball. But where does he fit in this Houston scheme of things here?
Solid shooter. Arizona State was a really weird team last year. They were oddly constructed, and I think that's why you didn't see a whole lot of what he can do with them. But I think he's got the NBA skill set to play well at the next level. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well from three, but he shot it better than 80% from the free throw line. So, I think the signs are there that he can be a good shooter and a scorer at that level. And especially if Houston ends up not really having any other guards on that roster, he could potentially slide right in there and get some playing time immediately and kind of work out the kinks of his game at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's more of a easy to say, probably safe to say, is more of a project pick right here for Houston with Josh Christopher. Yes. Definitely, we probably will see him with maybe some G League action. I'm thinking as well for Christopher, but not a bad pick. I mean, definitely a good shooter. If we can work on his shooting, he can definitely score the ball. He's going to be a project. Again, Houston had a really good draft. I mean, who's to say they're not even done? They may even get back into the first round. But when you've got, the guys that they've drafted in Shagun, Jalen Green, then you with Garuba and Christopher, very nice setup over in Houston. Josh, you got anything as far as Christopher's going with Houston, or do we have any news or notes? Any part of this pipe bomb getting dropped?
A little bit of a follow-up on the fact that there was no presser from Paul. I was just communicating with him. Since he wasn't there, it's more complicated setting up a virtual. So the Spurs are trying to get in contact with him, according to Paul. So yeah, that's the latest on that situation. So not really an indication of any moves or anything, but just some logistics about
I give everybody hope.
I mean, you got to. Somebody has to. I know.
No, but see, the problem is if I give everybody hope, then I get the death threats after all this is done, and then it's like, I'm sorry.
And other than that, DeJounte tweeted a bunch of, I think they're called grimacing faces. Whenever grimace emojis, they look kind of like a smile, and then he also has a picture of himself kind of grimacing. So people are kind of reading into that as far as, was that the best thing you should have done? Maybe give me a lob threat to pass to. People are just saying that. I don't know exactly what. I mean, he always likes the cryptic stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a current player that doesn't like the pick,
I mean we're assuming
we don't know that that's what that is.
Yeah, we're assuming.
Well, okay, so if you're gonna give stink face on Twitter, I mean, what is there else to assume?
Well, let me show you the actual picture.
Okay, maybe I saw the picture. While you bring it up, the Clippers pick is in here at number 25, and it's actually a name that we brought up a little while ago. It's going to be Quentin Grimes,
good shooter
out of Houston.
AAC Player of the Year. Love to see it. Helped his team to the Final Four, man.
Yeah, and I definitely like this pick for the Clippers. I mean, you're getting another scorer here, something that goes right along.
But this is also not the Clippers pick, I believe.
So this one's being traded as well?
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
So many trades. Give me 1 sec.
All right, I'm real quick.
This one's going to New York.
The Knicks. Okay. No worries. And hey, Quentin Grimes in New York. I mean, still makes sense for them too. I mean, you're getting a nice little scoring guard right there. Definitely is going to be a good pick for the Knicks as well. I like that pick. I would have liked to see him go to Houston for some reason, just because this is in the backyard. But definitely a great guy, great player for the Knicks who's going. I did see the DeJounte Murray tweet. Josh showed it to me. Okay, it's not so much stink face, but it's kind of like the was it Steve from The Office? Where
he does that. Steve Carell,
Steve Carell. But it's hard to read into some of this stuff when it comes.
He always does that. That's what DeJounte likes to do.
I've given up on reading, gentlemen.
Oh man, hang in there, man. We've only got 5 more picks to go right now.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
On the clock.
Speaking of, let's get to before we forget.
Awesome, we got another giveaway. Josh, take it away.
Yes. So I actually passed this off to Joe to find somebody that's been very active in our chat. There's been a lot of you, so thank you. He specifically singled out. This is for the $15 Spurs fan shop gift card. And the winner is going to be Jonah Kubasek.
Nice.
So congratulations and thank you. Joe, have anything to say?
Oh, that's why you got to keep on being active in the chat and interacting with us. We greatly appreciate everybody who's still with us and listening and interacting with us. we couldn't do the show without you guys. So congratulations to our new winner here, and just keep on subscribing to our YouTube channel, like the video, and give us an RT if you're watching from Twitter. So we love our fans, and we love interacting with you guys. So much appreciated. Thank you all so much.
Yes, an honorable mention to John Hernandez for his Rudy Booty compos. I did write that down. That was a close call, but I gave it to Joe to decide, since I know some of these people.
Hey, again, thanks everybody for tuning in to the 2021 NBA draft coverage powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. Thank you guys for tuning in. We still have another prize to give away here pretty soon. So please continue to like, continue to share, continue to retweet, and keep making those comments.
Yeah, we see you out there, Greco Suave. He keeps on saying me. I was like, we see you out there, Greco Suave. Keep on interacting with us.
We're seeing everybody on the comments. We love it. This is the reason why we do this stuff, because we love interacting with you guys. We love giving y'all the best takes possible. We have the best people possible here at Project Spurs. I mean, we've got great staff members and all. So be sure to just catch everything that we do on Project Spurs via YouTube, via Twitter, via Facebook, everything. We're all over the place. 26, Denver Nuggets. Help. What do they need? Ben, which way do you see the Nuggets going with this pick right here?
The Nuggets probably need backup point guard help, especially with how the season played out after Jamal Murray got injured. They need someone else to help them create plays for other guys, just be even a decent shooter, and create plays for other people, get them easy buckets, and be able to just run that offense in the second unit.
So if you had a choice between Cameron Thomas or Sharif Cooper or Jared Butler, which one of those three would be your likely pick for Denver if they went point guard?
For me, it would be Sharif Cooper. I don't think Cameron Thomas. I don't think Cameron Thomas is your answer for anything when it comes to creating for others or playing defense. He is absolutely not the answer.
Sharif Cooper definitely would be my pick out of the three. Just something about Jared Butler that it just kind of screams because of the resume that he's got. Playing college ball, it just kind of like screams, veteran right there. And that's kind of like a Denver Nuggets team with Jamal Murray out. Having a veteran type player like a Jared Butler would have probably benefited them a whole lot more last season, knowing that Jamal Murray was out.
Yes, he would have absolutely, a guy like that would have absolutely helped them. He is, and that forced Denver to pick up Austin Rivers on short notice, and he was fine. He played really well for them, but he's not a long-term option for you at that point. Getting a guy in the draft for them is going to be big, and making the right decision there is going to be big. And the pick is in, so hopefully Adam Silver will hit us with something here soon.
Well, you know how long it takes him to walk to the stage, so I think he needs like one of those little scooters, or what do you call those? The Segway scooters.
Yeah,
the motorized one.
Segway up and down this.
Knowing our
podium,
luck,
that'd be great.
Adam Silver would segue off the podium somehow. He wouldn't know where the brakes were. Or anything.
Do you know how many more fans he would get if he did that?
Did you? Okay,
he would get so many less boos, man.
We got the pick coming in, so I can't really make a comment. But I'm pretty sure y'all guys have heard the story about the guy that invented the Segway, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I was gonna mention.
Yeah,
that.
Google it if you don't know, guys.
Yeah, please Google that. Pick is in for the Denver Nuggets, and they go with one Nashawn Bones Highland guard out of VCU. Definitely not one of the picks that Ben and I were thinking they were going to go, but nonetheless, he is a point guard. He is a point guard. And does it make sense for the Nuggets here to take on Nashawn Highland?
Yeah, I mean, he's bigger than Sharif Cooper by a couple inches. He's a good shooter. He had a really good combine, which absolutely helped him. He was probably a second rounder up until the combine, and he played really well, plays good defense, has a great nickname, so that always helps, and can create his own shot a bit. So Yeah, I mean, I like that pick a lot. I think it's definitely better than a Cam Thomas, than Sharif Cooper. I don't know if it's much better than a Jared Butler, but it's a good pick. They shouldn't be mad. Can't be mad about that pick. I think he's going to be really nice, and he's going to help. He's going to help Jamal Murray handle the offensive load there.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice pick there. I'm looking at Nashawn Highland. I did see him play a little bit. I kind of thought, well, maybe he's going to be in the first round, which you are at the end of the first round, but I thought maybe around the 30 pick because, I mean, you're looking at Utah at 30 with Mike Conley. We don't really know much on that situation. I mean, he's still in Utah, but that's another name that was kind of being thrown around out onto the draft rumor wins that we have. So I'm thinking they were probably going to be all in on Nashawn right there, but him going right here at 26. Makes perfect sense for the Nuggets. I see Joe Garcia behind the glass laughing. I'm wondering what is so funny, Joe?
I'm looking at the comments here, and Greco Suave says he's eating avocados to come down from that 12th pick. And Chase Reynolds has been very active. I want to give a big shout out to Chase Reynolds. Yeah. He puts go big or go to bed.
I'm about ready to go to bed.
Yeah, Greco Suave again with the great comments. He goes, so does they say look to draft another guard in round 2? I'm a bit confused as to what we did at this or what we're going to do at this next pick. Yeah, so
it's
who knows at this point.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, that's a part, you know.
Then when the Spurs, they'll trade down. We want the 54th pick.
They're going to trade down into the second round of next year.
Yeah.
I think this sends a clear message, though, Ben. You know, pop in the front office, say, we like the team we have.
Well, but they don't have a team. They've only got 8 players under contract, and at that,
it's too early to say that, Joe.
It's a battle cry for Spurs Twitter. It's going to be hearkening into this next season, I guarantee it. And you know, the cries to fire Pop in the front office are just going to be coming. You know, they never end.
I'm glad I don't have to drive through downtown heading home because I wonder, does anybody have a live look at downtown right now? Make sure that the tower is
the structures are still standing.
No one has taken down the Alamo. I mean,
the tower still stands, Rudy.
Hey, if y'all want to knock down anything, there's one big old Alamo Dome down there. You can definitely take a chisel or two and do some damage to. But yeah, I mean, who knows what they do in the second round? I mean, obviously there's a lot more big guys in the second round. Like we mentioned a couple of guys earlier, Charles Bassey's a really, really good one to go because he actually has San Antonio ties. He played some high school ball over at St. Anthony's High School. I saw him play a couple of times. And Charles Bassey is a really good player. I mean, if we're looking at Charles Bassey in other years without injuries and stuff, I mean, Ben, are we talking lottery possibly for Bassey?
If he had come out after his freshman year, absolute lottery. Probably would have gone lottery, and we wouldn't even be having a discussion about him at all.
Yeah.
Because he would already be drafted by someone. But Charles Bassey is a guy I like a lot. I think he's a little limited on offense as it is, but that can be worked on. He's been trying to get better at that, and he can be a solid defensive player for you too. He's a good post-up player, so he does do things on offense that some of the other players on the Spurs do not do. So he would bring an added dimension to that team.
Gotcha. Josh, you got anything, Josh, right now?
You're talking about Bassey?
Bassey, anything. Anybody you want right now.
Yeah. I only know a bit about him because somebody I write with at Air Alamo kind of profiled him. He was high on him as far as a second-round choice. We do need size. I'm still... Everything goes back to team need, and getting Primo there is still confusing. But, yeah, Bassey would be a great choice, I think.
It makes you wonder, did Brian Wright sneeze when he submitted the pick and was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it was accidentally the second pick, the second-round pick.
Who knows, man, at this point. But one thing that we know for sure, I mean, we can all say that we've trusted the draft eye of R.C. Buford and Pop. The front office, I mean, we've had more hits than we've had misses. Is that probably safe to say come draft?
It depends, like, how far you go back. And
Robertson era.
Oh, okay. I mean, Ooh, that's tough.
I mean,
Recently, they've been doing well. Besides, I believe, like what Paul said, that international guy. But
Malutov.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, they've been able to get some gems. I mean, I'm not saying Primo's a gem, but a lot of times when you get the like Tony Parker from Paris Basket Racing,
Yeah.
majority, if not everybody, went who, and look how that turned out. You know, me personally, I knew a little bit about Manu Ginobili. I knew he was really good over in Argentina and overseas, but I didn't think he was going to be that good in his development. And you're talking about a second-round guy there. They're able to find guys. So when they draft players, you almost have to trust at who they draft because they have more hits than they do misses.
Yeah.
Here we go. Net selection is in. Adam Silver is strolling up there.
Yeah,
He
the
is
pick is in.
savoring these moments.
He's almost done. That's why.
I got a comment about Adam Silver, but I can't make it. You're gonna have to tune into another show.
Okay.
Oh, yikes.
Pick
Rudy
is
the
in.
Booty with some nastiness.
No.
towards Adam
It's actually
Silver,
not a
sounds like.
nasty comment. Trust me, it's not a nasty comment.
Oh,
Cameron
good.
Thomas for the Brooklyn Nets, 6'4", 210 pounds, out of LSU, a scoring guard. Like they need any more scoring already. Ben, break it down for us on the Brooklyn Nets and Cameron Thomas.
I mean, Cameron Thomas is a straight bucket getter, no question, no doubt about it. But not what I would describe as a passer. Not really a defensive guy either. I mean, he straight up is out there to get buckets. That is it. That is what he lives for. So I don't know how well that might fit with the Nets. He might be a second unit guy, or, you know, for the most part, he may not even play that much at all this year.
Do they clear
Just
cap space
with all the guys that the Nets have.
Well, do they clear cap space and potentially move on from a Kyrie Irving?
Oof, that's a question that is too early for me to answer, or is it too late in the night? We do not know.
Or both.
But
They pay me nothing to ask the tough questions.
I thought I was going to get some softballs, but I don't know if you move on from Kyrie Irving. I know earlier in the show they were showing the stat about how much the big three's extensions can be worth, and I'm thinking to myself, well, the Nets certainly can't afford all three of those guys on those extensions. There's no way.
No.
So something is going to have to give. Somebody's going to have to go. And yeah, if I have to take my guess, I bet it would be Kyrie Irving, because as much of a great player as he is, and, you know, as great as he is off the court, you know, with social awareness and other kinds of activism, I don't think he's a very good teammate. And I think that's going to finally wear down on guys, because there were injuries, so the likelihood of them winning a title last year wasn't great. Before that, of course, they were the favorites, but you know, they're gonna be under a microscope every year to win the finals. So, like, you know, the argument is you have 3 top 10 players on your team. There's absolutely no reason you shouldn't be winning a title. And if they don't win a title, then things could get nasty.
Exactly. And, you know, if you are moving on from a Kyrie Irving, the Cameron Thomas is not a bad person to pretty much replace a Kyrie Irving. I mean, he's not Kyrie. I'm not saying he's Kyrie, but he's not Kyrie. The thing with Cameron Thomas is that you get the scoring, but the good thing about it is you've got James Harden and Kevin Durant there. So there's your scoring right there for both guys.
That blow.
So, yeah, definitely can help out a lot. Cameron Thomas does make a lot of sense there. For the Brooklyn Nets, it kind of is curiosity, you know, kills the cat. Does Kyrie Irving stay with Net? That's the question that we can't ask, because we don't know. Out of the 3, Kyrie seems to be the more easier one to part with. Josh coming up with the 76ers pick, but going back to Cameron Thomas, posing the question to Ben, you know, drafting a point guard out of the 3 bigs, because the Nets cannot afford these contracts. Kyrie is probably that odd man out, you would think.
I mean, I guess. But
I mean, I don't know if anybody would take Harden in.
No. And he just got there.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And Durant, you're not getting rid of Durant.
Obviously not.
I mean, unless you're an Olympic team and you struggle, but definitely not getting Kevin Durant.
Yeah. What I was going to bring up was I'm trying to go back to the Spurs here because I
Yeah.
found a good comment that was
Sure.
one of the rare positive outlooks, maybe. This is from Angel Bolivar, and he said, Spurs have seemingly never drafted along with groupthink. Same process that got us Vassell, got us Primo. So basically not going with what everyone else is saying. The track record drafting perimeter talent in recent years is good. They must see something special in Primo to draft him with with these guards. So,
And that's kind of what we were saying earlier.
yeah.
We were saying that you almost have to trust. And
Yeah.
I don't want to use the process, and you have Philadelphia coming up, but I mean, you've got to trust the front office.
You have to, but at this point, a lot of people don't, and that they were feeling like this is the swing for the fences pick that you need to make, and it doesn't seem like it is one at all.
Yeah.
Until the Spurs absolutely blow up their front office and blow up their coaching staff, the way they make decisions will always be the same. Whether that's Brian Wright or R.C. Buford, whoever's making those calls, the mindset is going to be very similar. They just do not, for the most part, they don't take risks. But I would argue that taking Primo at 12 is a huge risk.
Yeah, we got some great comments coming up right here.
Go ahead, Joe.
So I think that's something to be considered. I mean, and here's the thing: 2 years from now, if Josh Primo turns out to be a dude or a stud, people are going to say, oh, well, we got him as a steal at the 12th pick, which is not true at all. Nobody felt that way. Keep this recording as proof. I am certainly not someone who thought, yeah, that's a sneaky good pick at 12. I'm incredibly skeptical, and I'm curious to see how it works out. I think there were several other ways they could have gone, and I'm sad that they didn't go those ways, but that's the guy they chose. So we're gonna, if you're a Spurs fan, you got to root for him, and you got to be hopeful that he turns out to be what they thought he is or what they think he is.
Yeah, one of the comments I want to share with you guys that you can see on the screen, Greco Suave. This is one of my favorite comments of the night. San Antonio looks like all the Purge movies at the same time.
Oof. That's a big oof right there.
It says nobody wants Lyles sign and trade. Greco Suave was saying that because Michael said Lyles was a free agent. But we do got the pick is in right now. So we'll go ahead and transition over to that. Looks like the 76ers picked.
They ended up taking Jaden Springer, guard out of Tennessee.
Tennessee gets 2 first-rounders this year. Very nice for them.
That doesn't happen if you don't have Rick Barnes as your head coach, right? I'm assuming.
Probably not.
So Jaden Springer, 6'4", 204-pound guard. Again, coming from the Rick Barnes tree here, Tennessee getting the second pick in the first round. Another pick going in the first round shows how how good Tennessee was this past year. What do you got on Jaden Springer going to Philadelphia here, Ben?
Probably a nice little pick for them. He's going to be a bit of a project at the point guard position, which is totally fine. Because from what I'm reading, it does not look like they are going to make a trade for Ben Simmons tonight, at least. So for now, Jaden Springer is safe, and Ben Simmons is safe. So Springer, a good physical defender, will really get after you on the perimeter, which is something the Philadelphia 76ers have plenty of. So he'll get to go up and play with guys who already share his intensity on defense, which is great. And he should be able to learn quite a bit on offense because that's really the part of his game he has to improve a lot.
Yeah, and you're bringing it up, for the whole Ben Simmons thing. I mean, Ben Simmons runs the point for them, and they went out and got a Jaden Springer. Not saying he's going to replace Ben Simmons, but it does soften the blow when you possibly are going to lose a Ben Simmons. So you do need some point guard depth there. Jaden Springer, a really good pick, I think, for the 76ers. It's a make sense pick is what it is. I mean, it makes sense for them to get Jaden Springer. You still had a Jared Butler out there. But again, point guard's the position. That's a position that they need to fill, obviously. We've got runners-up of the NBA Finals up next. The Phoenix Suns. Josh, Phoenix on the clock right now. Rumor has it that Chris Paul is seeking 3 years, $100 million.
Something like that.
Is there some kind of good strong drug in Phoenix that I don't know about because I don't understand. Peyote's a good one, but I don't understand the 3-year, $100 million idea that Chris Paul thinks he's going to get.
I mean, it might just be trying to turn to the fact that he's been able to turn franchises around kind of for the last couple times.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, hey, look what I've done for both of these teams, so I am worth this much, even though how old is he now?
He's got to be like my age.
36 or so? Yeah.
No, I'm actually older. By a lot.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, that I don't know who would give that type of contract at this point with the state of everybody's space.
It's almost like he's holding Phoenix hostage because, hey, we got to the finals. We can do it again, but you got to pay me. Is Phoenix crazy enough to pay him that much money?
Yeah, we got a giveaway, I believe, coming up here.
Okay.
Yes, since it's we're already we're a little past 10 here. Let's go ahead and get to the last giveaway. This is going to be the Dakota's shirt for the newly crowned Spur. I guess we'll maybe see if.
Yeah, we're gonna display it right here.
Oh yeah, go for it. So that's the front of the shirt. Yeah, so we're gonna be giving that one away to another fan that's been very active in the chat.
And look at the back of the shirt. Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
And it'll say Primo as of right now on the back.
As of right
Primo
now,
pick.
we are gonna kind of see also for the second round and see if anything happens. So it's not gonna be anything that's like immediately shipped or anything.
Yeah.
And also we're gonna see if the winner wants it.
By the way, a reminder that this 29th pick is actually going to the Nets as part of the Landry Shamet trade to Phoenix.
That's right.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make this call based on a lot of the comments and the funny comments. I believe this one should go to Greco Suave.
Yeah, I think this one should go to Greco Suave.
Man.
Even though I think he was kind of lamenting the whole pick also. I don't know if you'll want the Primo shirt, but hey, you can just say it's cousin also.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Greco Suave. We appreciate you interacting with us, and we appreciated your comedic comments. You've been the comedian of the chat room over on YouTube tonight, so we love that, man. Appreciate you for supporting us and listening to us, and, I'm sure Rudy has some kind words to say about Greco Suave tonight.
I have a lot of kind words for Greco Suave. Thank you for joining us tonight, Greco Suave. You are the grand prize winner, and you're going to want this shirt because this is the exclusive NBA T-shirt of the newest Spur Primo. No one's going to get it first. This is the exclusive one. So
one of one tokens.
And if you know anything about card collecting like I do, one of ones are worth a ton of money. So you might be able to go right around and sell it for $5.
This guy.
And honorable mention to just a Spurs fan for the Orale Primo comment as well. That was a good one. But Greco Suave was just too strong in the end. But thank you for listening as well.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We're coming up to the tail end here of the 2021 NBA Draft, powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. It's been a great night so far. It's been a mind-boggling, head-scratching kind of night. All started with the Scotty Barnes pick going number 4 instead of number 5, and continuing with Josh Giddey at Oklahoma City. Let's see what kind of crazy bunker situation we can come up with now as Phoenix is picking for, you said it was Brooklyn? Brooklyn. So
yes, Brooklyn.
The Phoenix Suns selected Day'Ron Sharpe that will be going to Brooklyn. Day'Ron Sharpe out of UNC, big man, versatile. I love my Tar Heels, but I didn't have very much to say about him this year. Ben, let's let everybody know how Day'Ron Sharpe fits in with the Brooklyn Nets here.
He's going to be a nice little pick for them, I think. He's a good big man, can help you on defense. The biggest thing for the Nets is they just don't have a lot of big man depth in the front court. So he addresses that need absolutely. And, he's got a body to bang in the NBA, and he's not afraid of contact. He's going to go up and he's going to hit you, and he's going to enjoy it, really, is what it comes down to. and he's actually a pretty solid passer out of the post as well. So I like that. I like him a lot. And this was a guy I thought who was fringe first rounder, maybe a second rounder. Turns out we were right. He was fringe first rounder there.
Well, apparently Kendrick Perkins thought he was a top 12 pick in the beginning because apparently he was thinking.
Kendrick Perkins thinks a lot of things, and maybe he shouldn't verbalize those things.
Yeah, but I guess we feed into Kendrick a lot. That's why he's still on the air. But Day'Ron Sharpe going to the Brooklyn Nets does make sense for them. They do need some size. I mean, they really do need some size. This is one guy, I'm not saying he can defend him, but he brings that size that they were missing in that Milwaukee series, can we say?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yes, as well as, I mean, Kevin Durant is a big man and he can play big, but he's not that strong. He's functionally strong, but he's not strong enough to bang in there with the big boys.
My 8-year-old daughter can post up Kevin Durant. That's not a big deal. Kevin Durant is too thin. He's not a banger. He's not anybody who's going to play in the post, not get dirty, down dirty, anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. Day'Ron Sharpe is the pick for the Brooklyn Nets. Makes a lot of sense. They need that. They need that physical presence down low. Day'Ron Sharpe does get it. Josh, you got anything on Day'Ron? You got anything on Spurs Twitter?
Yes.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
We do. Okay, is Twitter shut down?
Spurs Twitter has broken. Twitter, the app is now completely broken. No, so we have. It looks like the Spurs were able to get in contact with Josh Primo, their own pick, as far as a presser, and he's doing that now.
Nice.
We got something from Bruno Passos here that shared a quote from Primo. This was on his workout with the Spurs. It was a great workout. I don't think it was really about the workout per se. It was about interacting with the coaching staff, the support staff, everything like that. It was more about the fit. I got to meet just about everybody but Pop. So he didn't even meet with Coach Pop. I mean, Pop was probably busy doing the Olympic thing.
He was probably preparing for Japan at that point.
Point. So, I mean, that makes you think about how much say Pop had into this. I mean, I'm sure he did have.
Are we going to be the first to break a conspiracy theory rumor here saying that Pop didn't have a say-so, so is Pop not coming back? I'm not saying it.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not saying it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Because he didn't talk to Primo.
I mean, you would think the head coach would want to talk to a player.
That's true. I mean,
he may have talked to him in person. Maybe they had phone conversations.
Ben, you're making me look bad here, Ben. You're making me look bad.
I'm just trying to be optimistic.
He's just asking the questions.
I thought that was what we're.
Remember,
we're doing hopeful things.
They pay me nothing to ask the tough questions, Ben. They pay me nothing to ask tough questions. I'm asking these tough questions. Fastballs to the head. Exactly what I'm doing here. But
no regard for human.
No, man. I mean, I get it. I mean, like I said, it's just something that we all think about. A lot of people, including myself, felt that Pop was a little different this year. It did felt like a difference this year in Pop as far as not only coaching, but the way he was with media at some point, the way he was with players. It just had a different feel to it. So that's kind of why I brought it up. I really think that I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I mean, he's getting a lot of crap overseas already with the whole Team USA thing. Does that play a part in it? Because you're thinking, okay, you've got Chris Broussard and other people calling him out, but, you've got a team full of, great athletes and all-stars and, superstars, and you're not doing this and you're doing that. It's like that can take its toll on somebody. Obviously it can. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just posing the idea. I mean, you would think that Pop, because they don't have a game right now, I mean, you would think Pop would be involved somewhere potentially in this.
I mean, and he still could be. We just might not know about it. I mean, you know how tight-lipped everything else is. You want to get to the last pick here?
Sure. Last pick is in, and y'all have joined us for all 30 picks. I am so happy about that right now.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Boy. Everybody.
Let me look at the comments here.
I don't even think we have a profile for this guy. So it always happens. Every draft, it always happens. One player will get drafted in the first round that completely goes without a profile.
Surprised we had Primo in there. Good job, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I told Joe we got to get the top 50 prospects. Apparently, this guy's number 51 because I didn't get him in there. Santi Aldama out of Loyola Marymount, forward, going to the Utah Jazz right now. Ben, I'm not even going to comment on Santi other than I love the name.
Are you sure?
What? Yes, I love the name Santi Aldama. That
awesome.
awesome.
Pick is not Utah's pick. That is now Memphis's pick.
Okay, so Memphis is getting it. What do you have on Santi Aldama out of Loyola?
Rudy, I have had something on literally everyone else that you have asked me about tonight. This is the one guy I have nothing on, and now I feel stupid. So thank you for that. You have officially asked your hardest question.
I have something on him. He's 6'11",
Yeah.
215
He's
pounds.
a Spanish basketball
Okay.
player. He was named the most valuable
He
player
plays
of
basketball. He
2019.
played at a Division I university. Cool, great guy.
Ben had all these other people on his list except for this guy.
And that was a name I started hearing yesterday. And I'm thinking, there's no way. And of course, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, let's say as a sophomore, he was posting up 21.2 points per game, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.7 blocks, shooting 59% from the field and 37% from three. That, to me, I mean, I know it's Patriot League, but that's kind of surprising. We didn't hear much more about this guy with those kinds of numbers.
Yeah, but it's because he's in the Patriot League.
Okay.
That's why you didn't hear more.
Good point.
But Jerry Rice was
the Patriot League is not even really considered a major league.
But
it's-
Scottie Pippen
it's
wasn't even in.
A tier below.
Yeah.
Don't even know what you guys are talking about right
You
now
know
at
what?
this point.
I'm looking at round 2, and I'm looking to see what needs that they have from, the media puts out. What are the needs of San Antonio at this point in round 2? Add insult to
Everything.
injury, small forward, power forward.
Yeah.
I mean, we had those opportunities in the
did.
first round,
Yep.
Primo probably still would have been there in the second.
This is going to be a huge question for a while. unless they-
I'm very curious to see if I would absolutely love to know if there was somebody out there who really was strongly considering Primo and was going to take him in the first round somewhere. I have to know that. I need that to come out somewhere.
But you had Kai Jones, you had Jalen Johnson, Segun. I mean, you had a lot of names out there that you could have gotten at 12.
yeah.
Why pick Primo? It makes absolutely no
I agree.
sense.
Yeah, he's talking still to the media, and he said he saw his stock rise through the combine, but he had been hearing early second round before his strong showing. And he said that it was an amazing moment. He was not expecting it. And he told his agent to shut up when he said the Spurs took him that early.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Even-
sure
even
I
he
would've
didn't
thought
expect
my agent
it.
was messing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, he was asleep. His agent called him and said, "Hey, you've been drafted by the Spurs."
And
he's
he looked
like,
at his watch like, wait, what?
Wait a minute, are we in the second round already?
What's happening right now?
Again, I have to look at a positive side, which there's really not many, but you've only got 4 guards, 3 of which are point guards, and Primo is probably a shooting guard. He's a 2. So, does it fill a need? I mean, it technically fills a need. I mean, if you're looking at one side of it, it fills a need for the Spurs. And people say you draft best player available. If they feel this was the best player available,
This
if
was not.
if they feel it was the best player available, then they did their job. I mean, that's kind of the way you can look at this. I mean, I am not on board with it, but I have to look at the positive side of it. And they did need another
The only
guard.
way the Spurs can redeem themselves with this pick is if Primo gets Rookie of the Year. If he does not get any run out there on the
I
court
mean,
and he
you
stays with
can't-
Austin,
you
no.
can't just sit on 1 year of experience.
I need
but
something, Ben. Let me have my shine. I need Rookie of the Year.
I also think
It's not gonna
that
play.
they can get a decent big man in the second round, but if Primo has a really nice year in Austin, I think that's basically a win. But I think it might also be signaling that the Spurs are looking to make other moves in free agency. They're gonna look to sign
Let's see
other
what the kid
guys
does in.
to fill their needs.
Yeah, we do have the summer league coming up, so if the kid gets some
Yeah.
run there, we get a first look to see what he can do. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna
Show
be,
me some
yeah,
thanks.
August
8th, I believe.
8th or something.
No.
I'm actually trying to get out there. I don't know if I can get credentials, but I can definitely.
Well, I don't
try to
know
get
if
out
you put your name as Rudy the Booty, they might let you go in.
They
might
might think
think-
you're the halftime entertainment.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
They might bring out the pole and everything for you.
Oh my god.
You can
And,
just say that's an exercise pole.
And my
Stop.
time with Project Spurs has probably come to an end after this. I'm sure.
I do.
Hopefully, Michael's asleep right now.
I do want to shout out Dylan Gonzalez, who's running our social right now.
Shout out.
He does great work there. Anytime you see something funny from Project Spurs,
Oh, yeah, it's Dylan.
it'll be Dylan. He had one with the meme of that guy behind a tree, like licking his lips.
I saw that.
And
I
it says
retweeted it.
HEB seeing his last name, seeing that his last name is
He's
Primo. It's getting a lot of traction on there. Dylan, you do a great job for us. Follow
Yeah.
Project Spurs on Twitter just for the memes, if anything.
Yeah, Project Spurs is a great follow on Twitter. If you're not following them, you need to, just for Dylan. He's great, man. So make sure you also follow Dylan as well. He was great with
Dylan
his little
Gonzalez, yeah.
Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
You know, it's great, man.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Josh, do me a favor. Can you give everybody that's still watching us right now all the handles that we have for like Facebook, Twitter, and everything else?
Oh yeah, sure. So, well, we're at Project Spurs on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's our account. And then Facebook is just Project Spurs. Just search. I believe YouTube is the Project Spurs network.
Project Spurs
you'll wanna
Network,
look
yeah.
for that. And then on Facebook, we're just Project Spurs. Instagram, you're probably not going to see a lot there, but we're Project Spurs on there as well. We'll get more into
Yeah.
that later.
They'll see all the great content at projectspurs.com.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, definitely go follow Project Spurs off all social media platforms, as well as projectspurs.com. This is the 2021 NBA Draft powered by Project Spurs, sponsored by DraftKings. I'm going to go real quick around the horn here, get some last minute insights on everything, get everybody's opinion on draft night. I definitely know everybody's opinion on the Spurs pick, but overall draft night, let's start with the Boomstein himself, the man of the hour. He gave us all of the great draft analysis. He's our Mel Kiper of NBA draft, the guru himself.
I wish I had that.
I don't know what more to call you other than the man. You're the man, Ben.
He's
I
the
appreciate
dude.
it.
The
Give-
dude.
Give us your take on tonight's draft. Obviously, we know the Spurs drafted, but overall, this draft, any surprises, anything that jumped out at you?
The Scotty Barnes at 4 was big. I actually thought it allowed the Magic to make some really nice picks. I mean, Jalen Suggs is not a they would have gotten otherwise if he hadn't fallen to them. So, you know, they'll have to figure out their young. They have a lot of young guards. They'll have to figure it out, but I think they're on the right path. It's going to be nice. I hate to say this, but the Rockets had a really nice draft. At least in the first round, they made some great selections. They made some trades to get into the first round. They picked Şengün. They got Usman Garuba, both guys who are potential targets for the Spurs. And they got Jalen Green at 2, which was to be expected. They just made some good picks tonight. And it's, you know, if you're the Spurs, if you're a Spurs fan, you're kind of upset because you're thinking the Rockets made a lot of moves tonight to get better, and the Spurs made a single pick, and you're kind of wondering why didn't they do more?
That's what a good
Yeah.
front office does, Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, but the other thing is, you know, another good thing that a good front office does is they trust themselves to make their evaluations and say, this is where we value this guy. We think we need to get him here. We don't feel the need to go back and trade in to the first round. So, and that's not to say I am in love with the 12th pick of Josh Primo. I am skeptical of the pick, but I think the Spurs will be all right. I think he will end up spending a year in Austin to figure things out. But, you know, I think the Spurs have been doing this for a very long time, and they've been successful for a very long time. Although, you know, you have one or two more iffy years and things could get real dicey.
Oh, yeah. And I think we're going to see diciness happen this year. I mean, as it is with that Primo pick, we're seeing a lot of Spurs fans very, very upset. I'm getting DMs right now asking why, and I really don't have the answer.
It's that Tanya Hardin, Nancy Kerrigan moment. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Hey, Ben, real quick, let everybody know where they can follow you, whether it be Twitter or Facebook, wherever you want, man. Give out your handles everywhere.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at @the_boomstein. I am here for all college basketball, NBA draft, Project Spurs content, issues, questions, comments, concerns, you name it. I'm your guy. I will talk to you all day.
And he really will. He really will. Even about Marvel and DC stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We all do that.
These
we
are
all
facts.
do that. And we also have, and I want to go ahead and mention, if this ever takes off, I mentioned it. I went all royalties. I won 99% of the royalties. But we have the Paredes pipe bomb, the man himself, Josh. Josh, give us your take on this draft. Like I said, give us your take on the Spurs draft, overall draft in general, and also where they can find you all over across social media and everything you do for Project Spurs in Ear Alamo.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, confused would be the word. He's pretty much the one pick in the first round that nobody saw coming. It's going to be all over national media, I'm sure. I've just got to put my faith, like you said, in the front office that they know what they're doing. Lately, it's kind of been harder to do that. But we're just going to have to see, knowing our luck, we're probably going to go off the air and then they're going to make a move immediately after. But we're just going to have to see. I mean, they know they need to make some moves this offseason, and if it's going to be in free agency or trades, then maybe that's going to be the route. But this is certainly not the start I was expecting. I'm disappointed, but I know that it's just the first night. We don't know if they have anything, in the works. So we'll see. I mean, like Ben already said, Rockets had a great draft. There's a lot of teams that upgraded in the West, which is unfortunate. But we'll just have to see. As far as where you can find me, I'm at Josh810 on Twitter. And like you said, I do stuff for Project Spurs. I help run social. I help, I write stuff occasionally. I work with Paul to get some stuff up. And I also do some writing for Air Alamo as well. I'm probably going to write some opinion pieces on this topic and what the Spurs are going to do going forward with both of their draft picks. So yeah, at Josh810 on Twitter.
Awesome. I'm going to put the over and under on 4-letter words coming out on Josh's article at about 5 after tonight. The man behind the glass, Joe Garcia, the one and only Joe Garcia. Everybody knows you from Two Shots Podcast. You celebrated your 100th episode recently too. So, Joe,
Yeah,
thank you for everything, Joe, for tonight. You made everything run very, very smooth, except the Spurs pick. You didn't quite hit on that one. You hit really hard on the Primo stuff there. But let everybody know where they can follow you and your thoughts on the Primo pick. I mean, draft as well, whatever you want to go. Go around the horn for you.
Well, the Primo pick is really surprising. I think it surprised a lot of Spurs fans. We were taken aback by it because of the plethora of talent that was available at that selection. Let's be honest, Primo is more of a second-round pick, not something that you'd waste a first-round pick, and no less at number 12 when you had so many other players available at that particular, spot. So this one's going to hurt for a while because I can almost guarantee that in a couple of years, either Primo is going to prove us all wrong or he's going to go on to greener pastures or maybe not even be in the league anymore. We have these types of scenarios to play out. Look at what happened with Kyle Anderson. We had him here for a while, developed him. He looked great. Then he went out to play with the Memphis Grizzlies, and it was balling out there. The Spurs develop players only to lose them in free agency. That's not conducive to a winning culture. I am tired of not making the playoffs. What are we doing? At this point, you got to question Pop in the front office, and I think that's a discussion we're going to have.
Nice. And again,
on the next podcast.
Yeah, on the next Two Shots. Basically, we're shooting at Pop and RC and everybody else. But you're right, man. I can see that. I see all the points in this. And let everybody know real quick where they can follow you, Joe, for everything you do.
They can follow me on Twitter, where I'm most active, at Two Shots Podcast. It's all spelled out. TWO, Two Shots Podcast. And I'll talk with you about anything, even your hate for this particular pick. And I'm curious to see if San Antonio still stands. Is it burning? Do we see a light glow on the horizon of the skyline because the city's on fire because of the purge mentality that everybody's having right now.
True that. Real quick before I give the closing, a closing statement here. My favorite name in the draft, and it was somebody else's favorite name in the comment, Rokas Jakubaitis was just drafted.
Wow.
That is fun to say.
I practiced that name for a while because I was hoping he'd get drafted. We're still on the air, and he did, so I get to say it. Also, Jason Preston was drafted before him. He's going to be traded to the Clippers, it looks like. That's a kid you want to watch. Just keep in mind, Jason Preston is a kid you want to watch out of Ohio. But as far as the NBA draft goes, it was a great draft. Cade Cunningham, obviously the superstar of the group. We're going to see potentially a lot of superstars coming out of this draft. Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Suggs, Green. Houston did a fantastic job tonight. I think a lot of these teams hit on their pick. At least 29 of them so far hit on their pick.
Oh, this guy.
Well, JT Thor is still available. The Spurs.
He is. And that was actually one of the comments that I actually stole right there. 29 picks were good. I'm assuming they're saying the Spurs wasn't. But what I just want to say about the Spurs pick is when you walk into an HEB, you have Coke or you have Hill Country Fair. They both taste the same. That's all I can tell you about the Primo pick. He doesn't look good. He's not the guy that you want, but he could be just as good as a Coke product as a Hill Country Fair name is what it is. So don't let a watered down person that you think is not the right pick for the Spurs ruin the upcoming season. It's potential that he can be
this is just the
an
start.
answer.
This man a watered person.
I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it. You know how I am. I'm calling it like I see it. Everybody says this is not the pick. This is a terrible pick. We don't know. We don't know. The only way we're going to find out is come Summer League or come the NBA season. And you know what? Hey, if he makes the roster, that's bonus right there because a lot of us are expecting him to go to Austin and play with the Austin Spurs. So to kind of jump on the I don't like the Primo pick bandwagon, for me, I'm going to just kind of wait and stay low-key, see how it goes. But again, like I said, it all tastes the same to me, whether it's the actual Big Red product or SEMA Red back in the day. I preferred SEMA Red over Big Red anyways, but you never know what you're getting. It's all tasting the same. Primo might be that pick that we actually did need. So
he's Dr. B.
Dr. B. Wow, another one. Another good one right there. Dr. B.
Not Dr. Pepper, Dr. B.
You guys can follow me at social media. It's at Sweep the League on Twitter. You can request me on Facebook. Like I've always say, request me all you want, whether I let you into my friends group. It's totally up to me, but never hurts to shoot that request. This has been a fun night.
Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. There it is. Dakota Mitchell. We need that shirt made now. Shoot your shot.
We do.
So for the Boomstein himself, Benjamin Boomstein, Josh Paredes, we are officially calling him the Paredes Pipe Bomb because he's going to be dropping bombs left and right. Joe Garcia running everything here. Rudy Campos Jr. This was a great debut for myself here at Project Spurs. Looking very much forward to working with all you guys and everybody else on the Project Spurs staff. This was brought to you by DraftKings, powered by Project Spurs. Y'all have a good night, folks. Thanks for joining us all night. Congratulations to all the winners tonight. Y'all prizes will be getting to you very, very soon. So for everybody here, thanks for joining us. Until we see